Bahuma right side. Gonna cut it inside. Looks now for the end zone.
I mean, you're better off just rolling it down the field, the 40-yard line, than kicking a line drive to number 15.
Salcido in motion. Snap taken heating. Gonna throw down the seam. He's got Coleman in the end zone. Touchdown.
I love it.
Look out. Off to the races. Matt Morrison. Blitz up the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off at the flat. It's Lynch on the road, down by a point. Capetta calls his own number, takes the plunge, and ends up in the end zone. Four-man rush. Throws across the body, looking for Peters. He's got him on the run. Beholder Sabati. It's clean. The kick is up. Good. And good. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Two unbeatens, at least against in-state competition, two conference rivals, squaring off tonight with a lot on the line, with just 2 games remaining for each team in the regular season. It's a packed house. Senior night festivities are underway. The color guard is on the field. And we are going to step aside and come right back for the national anthem, the coin toss, and the pregame. But we'll keep it right here. Johanna Flaherty, Olivia Will, doing a great job with the live rendition of the national anthem. All right, Pinkerton making their way onto the field right now. We're going to get to the coin toss in a moment. Take one final break and bring kickoff to you at the top of the hour. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Well, no nonsense here at Grant Field.
Wow.
As we may be set to kick off early here tonight in Salem. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Two teams on a collision course with just 1 week remaining on the regular season schedule. Coach Abraham's Blue Devils are undefeated against in-state competition, 6-0 against NHIAA opponents, 6-1 overall when you factor in the out-of-state loss at Wachusett a couple of weeks back. Meanwhile, Pinkerton, they're fresh off an out-of-state win. They downed Brockton a week ago, 42-13, to improve to a perfect 7-0. So, enough said. The records speak for themselves, and only one of these teams gets to walk away with a win tonight.
I go back and forth, Nick, imagining if I'm either team and trying to think about what the implications are if we win or if we lose tonight. And I go back and forth between thinking, well, at the end of the day, like we were talking about last night on Gridiron, you know, you're going to have another round, but there's something about wanting to win this game and put yourself in position that's, at the end of the day, is really important.
This ball is kicked out of the back of the blue-colored grass in the end zone. I wonder if the offense out here 1st and 10.
I wonder if they're trying to get this game off because they were a little concerned about weather, Nick.
Well,
early because
the latest look at the radar is
looks good.
We're supposed to be okay until about 10 o'clock or so.
Well, it is New England.
I just think these teams are anxious to get after it.
I think the coaches, the schools, everybody is.
All right, so Pinkerton with Tim Hersom at the controls, the senior quarterback, threw a couple of touchdown tosses last week in that 42-point outburst against Brockton. They hand to Caden Michaud, and the senior is going to stumble his way across the 20-yard line and pick up only 2 yards. Good edge play there by a couple of Blue Devils there. Tedesco, will say his name a lot, number 7 in blue tonight. And, of course, Caden Michaud was the headline in that Brockton win with 4 touchdowns, all coming in the first half.
Nice roll tackle there by Tedesco. He does it all. Both sides of the ball. Going to have a big game tonight to
well, he's right in the middle of this Blue Devil defense. Hersom around the corner. It's Morrison, the fleet-footed junior, is stopped in his tracks. No gain. Well, there on the stop was Parker Killian. Remember this strong junior class for Coach Abraham.
Yeah, this is going to be a slower field, Nick. It's a grass field, so it'll be a little bit of, for your Pinkerton, you're playing pretty much almost every week on turf. Certainly all the home games. Nice job coming up there with a team tackle on Morrison. Defense highly motivated right now. This is a big third down.
3rd and 8. Pinkerton hoping to avoid the 3-and-out. It's a quick hitter up the middle and swimming up shore.
Boy, it's going to be close. I think he's a little short.
So about the 30-yard line is Ryan Catno, the fullback.
First down.
And they are going to give him the first down. So they need 8 to get about 8.5 to keep the drive alive here early in the first quarter.
Well, we talked about that last night. Coach O'Reilly goes to Catno when he's got to get that first down and move the sticks. He is a very reliable, secure ball handler. And as they call him, the one-man wrecking crew.
Part of really a three-back rotation we should see tonight. Meanwhile, Hersom lost his footing and the football
I think Pinkerton got it back.
The Astros do have it, but it's going to be a loss of 4, maybe 5 yards. Well, 3 officially, so 2nd and 13 as we see the misstep there by the senior.
I think Catno, if I'm not mistaken, it hit his hip as he was coming through, and very fortunate to get on. That would have been a big turnover for Salem if they were able to recover it there, Nick. But 2nd and 13 is not really what they're looking for early in the game in their own territory.
Well, I stand corrected. That is Aiden McDonald under center and not Tim Hersom. As they go to, looks like Morrison here for a 3-yard carry back to the original line of scrimmage to set up 3rd and 10. So Tim Hersom not in the game here early on with 2.5 gone by.
Yeah, we'll try to get the information on that. Could be just a strategy move, but hard to imagine him out of the lineup, Nick, if he was okay to play.
We spoke with Coach O'Reilly last night, and he didn't mention any injury. Meanwhile, on a stretch, along the sideline goes Michoud. He's close.
He
out
is
of bounds,
close.
about a yard or so shy of that first down marker at about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, some of the Pinkerton crowd was looking for a late hit outside, but I think that was just an extension of the play with them already falling. So, yeah, that's just a...
Finished off there with the shoulder.
Michaud.
Yeah, they're going to have him actually out of bounds way back at the 35-yard line. He may have stepped out early. So 4th down and 5. The Salem defense gets an early win here with 3 minutes gone by. And they'll send one of their speedsters back to return the upcoming punt. I believe that's the talented Talon Walton, the junior. Here's the punt. It's a good one off the right foot of Pinkerton's Peyton Harmony, who also does the kicking duties. The fair catch is called for and made not by Walton, but by Callan Smith, the senior. Callan, one of the 18 seniors honored before the game. As athletic director, Scott Insigna also served as the master of ceremonies. Cheerleaders, the band seniors honored pregame as well. And then the early kickoff, a few minutes before 7, has got us underway here at Grant Field. So the first series of the night for the Salem offense. Nolan Lumley, one of the co-captains under center, hands to Tedisco, and the junior is spun back for a loss.
Well, I think he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, Nick, from forward progress, but one of the keys is going to be right here, how Salem offensive line matches up that great linebacker core and defensive line of Pinkerton. They've been getting better every week, and they were good to start the season, Nick. So this is going to be key for them to be able to get some angle blocking on these guys, to be able to get through the hole quickly with a single wing. That is or the wing T, I should say. That is critically important. Neither team offensively seems to have only one play, of course, by Salem, but we'll see as it progresses.
2nd down and 10. Tedisco in motion. They pitch left side. And here comes Felix Gonzalez. The junior is run down inbounds near the sideline after about a 5, maybe a 6-yard pickup. Tracked down by the edge man, Anthony Caruso for Pinkerton, and now a 3rd down and 4 on the way.
Really look like the way this guy runs, Nick. We picked up on him a few games back there, and just continually see the productive work that he provides the Blue Devils. And nothing short there. I think that's that rocket play that Coach O'Reilly was talking about last night that Steve Abraham got his crew really hitting that right on the fly.
Cameron Dillon credited with the tackle out of the secondary. Meanwhile, 3rd and 4, the pitch. Tedisco looks for a block, trying to cut it up. Dives his way up to the 45-yard line, but he's at least a yard short.
That's just great movement lateral movement by the defense and swarming to the ball, Nick. Pinkerton looks very, very solid. Watch the swarm to the ball. It's all lateral, all hip sideways. Look at that. 44 goes into assist. Everybody's moving towards the ball. If you're Coach O'Reilly and staff, you're going to like to see that at this early in the game.
Benjamin Quincelani, the junior for Pinkerton, with a good open field tackle. And now 4th and 1. Coach Abraham wants to go for it.
Yep.
Lumley under center. Going to call his own number on a sneak. And
he's got it.
And it looks like Salem's got the first down.
Gutsy call by Coach Abraham there, Nick. There's no guarantee that's going to work. There's a chance to it. I think he understands the parameters around this game, the conditions, and how important it is for the home team to come out ahead here. Just all the dynamics of this game, he's got to build momentum and have his guys believe that we can move the football. So a risk that paid off well.
Spoke highly, of course, of his senior quarterback, Noah Lumley, when we spoke with him last night. Says he's just a great human being, and that's really all that matters. Said he'd take him over any quarterback in the state right now.
Yeah, it looks like a false start. I don't know if he was drawn, but it looks like a false start there, Nick. But I had a nice conversation with Rodney Lumley before the game. He stopped me on the way and says he tunes in all the time, so we certainly appreciate that. But we had a nice discussion about his son going all the way back, playing for the Rams in the Youth League and moving up through the system. And he's raised himself a fine son. And, boy, is he an entertaining player to watch. If you like a versatile quarterback that likes to deliver the blow, he's very durable. You can see with Coach Abrams last night how much he thinks of this young man.
Up around 500 yards passing on the year. And he's going to throw his first tonight, or will he? He's going to be sacked instead by Caruso.
Corner
able
blitz.
to find his way into the backfield and wrap up the quarterback around the race, the 6'3 junior. He's going to set Salem back about 7 yards with that sack.
Well, nice call there from upstairs of the Pinkerton Astros crew, Nick, and great defensive call. A corner blitz from the backside of the quarterback right there. Lost his footing, and it was over after that. He had a chance to get rid of the ball, but as soon as he slipped, that corner blitz worked dandy for him right there. So, obviously, two defenses that are controlling the game so far the first 7 minutes.
Already past the midway point here, first quarter.
Yeah, this is not what Salem wants, Nick. If this is another motion penalty against them, timing is critically important. Steve Hall and crew out there, great staff. Always like when these guys come to a game. Yeah,
Steve Hall
it's encroachment. Sorry, Nick.
Steve Hall has officiated a few games that we've seen this season in particular, and we know we're in good hands more often than not when his crew is on the field. So we saw the false start against the tight end Ivan Colon III a few moments ago.
Yep.
And this time it's the defense in the wrong. So Salem gets that 5 yards right back. Still a second down and 15 as we hit the 5-minute mark first quarter. Pinkerton with 4 defensive linemen at the line. Lumley on a play action, hoping to escape the pocket. It won't happen.
It's just tremendous.
The walls collapse.
Tremendous pocket defense right there.
Marcos Centano, one of those veterans on the defensive side of the football, the D lineman with a sack.
On the D, you're going to see this is a team effort, Nick. Everybody's in the proper gaps, and then they've got contain. Perfect position, force him inside. Excellent handwork to get themselves released from the offensive lineman, and a team tackle to boot on top of that. Defense here for Pinkerton working really well right now, and a lot of it's based on good lanes and a good call given the circumstances. Good situational discussion upstairs, goes down the field, comes out, right call.
Third down, 20. Lumley to his left, going to throw over the top. He's got Gonzalez. Makes the catch just shy of midfield. Then is gang tackled out of bounds in front of Coach Abraham. They're back at around the original line of scrimmage, but still 4th and 10 on the way.
Yeah, but it shows you the versatility of Lumley. If you're looking, you're a college coach, and you're looking for a guy that can come off to the weak side and look at that athleticism. That's what Mahomes does so incredibly well, Nick. And that's just good quarterback work there. Nice route run by the receiver.
Starting to rain here in Salem.
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, this one up in the sky, and an adventurous fair catch.
Well,
is made by Isaac at about the 17-yard line. We were hoping for the weather to hold off.
Yeah.
And I checked the weather report on my phone a few minutes before kick, and it was fake news, apparently.
Well, I think
at least right now we've got a shower.
I think John was here for breakfast setting up this little place. I asked him when we came in here, I said, John, are we sleeping over tonight? Because this looks like a campsite. And lugged it all the way up to the second floor. Where would we be without he and Ben and the rest of the crew?
Yes, we are live on the press box roof here at Grant Field, safe and sound under a tent.
This is unpredicted, to say the least.
Meanwhile, there's a flag in the backfield, and what looks like a hold is going to go against Pinkerton.
And our decision to hold off on the second and third camera tonight, Nick, I think we were concerned about that, and we decided that given the day and the sky and everything that, we felt as though it wasn't the best thing to do to put very expensive cameras on the field. So we're going to do the best we can for you tonight with a single camera, but we certainly appreciate John's work on getting us a tent up here, because I think we'd be pretty soaked already.
So there's the hold.
Yeah,
it's first and 15 coming up.
Looks like it's going to be here for a little while before that heads out. Wasn't predicted.
Well, that's New England weather.
Absolutely.
As we know. All right, meanwhile, the officials still conferring here, and now we've got the green light.
Yeah, just no offensive movement here, Nick, on either team so far.
First and 10, a right side run and a good cut. It's going to pick up 11 out to about the 25-yard line to set up a second down and 4. That's Morrison's second carry of this first quarter.
This is what I say about watch the decision to cut inside. He's fearless. He sees the kick-out block, inside block, then he completely turns upfield. His lane choices every single time in the way he attacks that after the pivot is what makes him, with that great speed, very lethal out off the edge.
Second down and 4, and Minshew on a stretch, in trouble in the backfield, and dropped for a loss. Well, Salem shut down the edge that time. Yep. Walton out of the secondary led the charge. And now another third down on the way for Pinkerton, 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, but third down certainly not in 4-down territory deep in the zone. With Coach Abraham, he was up around the 45, 47-yard line, 49-yard line when he did it. This is a big play. It's here right now as far as this offensive set for Pinkerton.
Up the middle, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Salem ready for it. The D-line converges. The hole gets slammed shut.
Yeah.
The last man off the bottom of the pile was Bennett Atkins, the senior for Salem, and it's 4th down and 5.
Absolutely. Coach O'Reilly always thinking beyond. Take the situation here. Rain's coming down. Everything's greasy. He's got a 0-0 game. What do? You run it up the middle and you kick it away and have their offense run the ball in the bad weather. He's always thinking ahead of the game.
And he's got a backup quarterback.
Very good point, Nick.
All right. Pinkerton will punt from their own 14-yard line. Harmony's kick is high. It'll take a hit off the back of a Salem gunner, and that's a live football. Pinkerton says they have it.
They do.
And they do.
They do.
That one off the back foot. It looks like the right heel of one of the Salem players upfield, and that's got Coach Abraham upset.
Right off the back heel, Nick, of the cleat. You're going to see it right here come down. Really got to be away from that ball and right off the back of his leg. Now think of the implications of, we just talked before this play, of Coach O'Reilly making that decision in this sort of environment. That's what kind of things that can happen. Now it looks like a really good decision to do that where they got the ball. So big play of the game. First real big play of the game so far.
Meanwhile, Tim Hersom is under center. Takes the snap. The play is blown dead as another flag flies here. And again, it's a false start.
Yeah.
So
don't know.
You've seen now 2 procedural penalties both ways.
Yeah.
Here in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's pretty balanced against both. I think the conditions are tough, Nick. It's grass field, and the soil gets wet this time of year, and it gets saturated quickly because the grass growth is kind of beat up by this point. So, but both of these offenses are designed for this sort of weather to still perform. We'll see who can break it through first.
First down and 15. Minshew, big hole left side. Walton trying to wrestle him down around the waist. He's going to get 7 there, crossed into Blue Devil territory, and finally he's stopped at the 44-yard line.
Such a valuable runner, the way he twists and turns it the whole time. Tremendous ball security. That's an issue, not an issue. That's a piece of the Pinkerton team this year that has really been stellar, is ball security. You can tell that doesn't happen just by natural. That happens from work, practice, and buy-in on ball security programs to eliminate it.
Approaching the final minute, first quarter, double handoff. Morrison trying to find the corner, dancing out of bounds, tackled where? At about the line of scrimmage when it's all said and done.
70% of backs in the state, Nick, would have been tackled way back, but he's got this slippery speed that he can do, and He has these shoulder head fakes. If you watch him on the replay, you're going to see here, he has these little kind of very new, it's very stealth. Watch. He looks it, he fakes like he's going to, look at it, he looks him in the eye, and then he watches him. He boots outside. Same situation again. He's going to do it again. See, he looks like he's turning in, then he kicks outside. Terrific runner.
Got a bounce step for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Came on towards the end of last year as a sophomore in the absence of Caden Michaud, who was injured against Brockton. Meanwhile, it's Ryan Catno to first down and then some into the red zone. Tackled from behind at about the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 31 up the middle. And the first quarter's longest play will set up Pinkerton 1st and 10.
All because look at him. Look at he may be that he's not a bowling ball. A bowling ball generally stays in its lane. He has lateral movement. He's a wrecking machine, and that's really fits him as a better name in my opinion than a bowling ball because he's agile for a fullback.
Catno looked impressive last week against Brockton.
Yep, he sure did.
And he gets his number called again here. Going to follow the left guard down to the 10-yard line. Pick up 5 officially to set up 2nd and 5.
Think about strategy. Let's go back to Coach O'Reilly, kicking that ball away and running a highly conservative play because of the conditions here. And now look what happened. Look at the position he's in. And it's just anytime that happened, he said, okay, I'll play the field position game. We'll kick it away. And a good thing happened, and now they're knocking on the door towards the end zone. Haven't scored yet. But I don't know who called this timeout. But first quarter. Okay.
All right. No score. In a game of field position, but as Steve just said, Pinkerton knocking on the door when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, a costly turnover on a punt return effort about midway through that first quarter. Gave Pinkerton some second life. Now the Astros trying to pay it off at the Blue Devil 10-yard line to begin this second quarter. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. The Astros stick to the ground game as Caden Michaud goes up the middle down to about the 6-yard line. Going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. It is raining here in Salem. We were hoping to avoid it. Not the case. Still pretty pleasant temperature-wise at about
it really is
60 degrees, but a wild card perhaps for sure when we factor in everything. Meanwhile, Tim Hersom did not start this game, came on for the Astros' second drive and remains in the game here to begin the second quarter.
I can honestly.
Coach O'Reilly is going to dial up the big back again, move the sticks, and set up a first and goal.
Watch the hit by the Salem, fearless hit by Salem's defense against one of the most rugged guys in the whole state. Look at that. That is a guy that wants to help his team win on defense right there. What a big play. Not many people are going to be able to bring that man down in his spot. That's a big play right there, and if they stop him, it's even bigger.
I believe that was the senior Colby Gunda.
Nope, he's in.
Meanwhile, touchdown Pinkerton.
What a nice drive.
Ryan Catnode. He provided the big play on the drive, a gain of 31 yards. And he closes the door with a 1-yard touchdown plunge to put the visitors out in front 6-0.
So keep in mind, this all happened from a special teams mistake, not being out of the way of the kick, Nick. And it's so far in the game, it's the biggest game-changing play of the game. but you still got to go down and develop a drive and get in there. So congratulations to the Pinkerton Astros for a good drive in bad weather.
Peyton Harmony's kick up and good. So 7-0 with just over a minute gone by in this second quarter. Both teams undefeated against in-state competition. They've had this one circled on the schedule for quite a while.
Yeah.
Pinkerton, of course, undefeated overall at 7-0. Wachusett, a lone out-of-state loss a couple of weeks ago by Salem against Wachusett, but with only a week remaining. This game about as big as it gets stake-wise in terms of seeding for the upcoming Division I tournament.
Yeah, I think whatever happens tonight and across the league, next week's going to be just as big because there's a lot of matchups there as well. They're going to come to fruition. But, one of the things about Salem's defense, Nick, they've been out in the field a long time, a lot, because anytime that happens, that's one of those side effects. So they really got to bear down because they ought to be proud of themselves the way they've handled themselves so far. They've given everything they had, but you can't give up because things didn't go. They got to keep at what they're doing, and because I think they're playing pretty well. But Pinkerton doing a great job of taking advantage of an opportunity, and boy, in these games you have to do that.
Well, Salem just won series on offense to this point.
That's it. So this defense has been living out there the first quarter. They got to hang in there. They need their offense to put together, move some sticks so they can get a little bit of a breather. But they've done a terrific job so far.
3 men back deep for the Blue Devils, all standing at about the 10 or 11-yard line. Harmony kicked the first kick out of the back of the end zone. He'll do the same thing here. Coach O'Reilly agreed with you, Steve, saying that Peyton Harmony has the legs to potentially knock down a 35, even a 40-yarder.
I think so. The thing about it is it's accurate all the time. The ball has no right to left movement. It's always, well kicked. And that lends a lot to the holder, too. That means that the holder's doing a great job as well. So they have a nice battery there to work with. And when you get in the playoffs and you've only got to get down to the 30-yard line, to have a potential shot versus the 15 or 10 like a lot of kickers need to get at the high school level, that's a real asset to have. So his punter's good. His special teams are solid. Both of these teams' special teams are solid. They've done a good job this year. But
so drive number 2 for Noah Lumley and company, the senior. Going to come under center with a wing back, Tedisco to his left. That's Gonzalez, the wing. They hand to him, and nothing there.
Yeah.
That's DeLange on the edge, number 76 in white. He's had himself a pretty good season, 6'2", 245 pounds, the senior with a tackle, his second so far in this first half.
If you look at the replay on this, Nick, you're going to see a runner see the outside edge bottle up, and so he slows down. Don't do that. Pivot your foot, turn upfield as fast as you can, and go right at them, and that's the best chance you have to get a seam. Hopefully for Salem's, they'll continue to do that. And
Lumley going to hand right side. Gonzalez again. Looking for room, not going to find it. A flag is going to fly here on the tackle.
Yeah.
As the penalty comes in late.
Be interesting what this call is. Salem can ill afford to have that defense be thrown back out on the field, Nick. I'd have to look that one up.
It's a sideline warning against Salem.
Oh, okay. Sideline, I mean they were out too close to coming on the field. Yep. Yeah, that's a tough one.
There's a few coaches down there kind of right on top of the action.
Yep.
Including Coach Abraham.
Yeah, got to move him back off the line.
Doesn't seem pleased with the call.
No.
3rd down and 7. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Salem trying to keep the drive alive. They go to Tedisco, and the junior finds the corner. Able to hit the gas pedal before he steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That's a first down.
This whole play is designed with an excellent fake up the middle, Nick, which forces those linebackers to stay inside. And when you got a Tedisco running the ball off the edge, watch the fake up the middle. This is good stuff right there. Everybody's flowing to the middle, and Tedisco's got the opportunity to go one-on-one on the outside and get that first down. A well-designed play, well executed. Big play for Salem to move the sticks.
1st and 10. Lumley on a rollout, eyes downfield, throws, got a man. It's the tight end, Cologne.
Oh, I like this kid.
And he's at midfield. A pickup of 14 yards and another Salem first down.
Yeah, this is just great quarterback rollout. You know, Nick, I love quarterbacks that can roll out on both sides. He's shown he can do it tonight. Watch this work off. Look at that balance and throws a dart right in his hands. And after the yards happens because the throw was perfect. Really, really good couple of plays put together there by Salem.
Blue Devils with some momentum here, trailing 7-0. They're at midfield. Gonzalez stumbled a bit after the handoff. Is hitting the hole and dropped after only a yard gain at the Astro 49-yard line. Caruso around the football again there for Pinkerton.
Watch number 79, Akowski. Watch him shut this thing down. Watch, this guy's big. He's strong. He's a house. Look at 79. No, he's got two guys double teaming, and he's holding his own, which allows the lane to be filled because too many resources were taken to block him. Those are those unsung heroes in a game that make defenses strong, Nick.
That's Joe Pakowski, the senior.
Tremendous.
Meanwhile, Tedesco with room, a first down and then some. Morrison going to lower the shoulder and stop him, but he's inside the 20 before it's all said and done at the 16-yard line. That's Salem's longest play from scrimmage so far in this first half.
But again, Nick, look at the play here. Watch what happens, which forces them inside. Again, that fake dive is bringing everybody looking at that fake dive, and Sadisco's, they're going to have to make an adjustment on that. Now, what does that do for them? If they adjust, that opens up lanes in the middle, and then all of a sudden he'll start fullback and diving again. But that's a well-designed play, extremely well shielded by Lumley. This Lumley kid, he's growing every game.
Astro's going to blitz here on the rollout. Lumley is hit as he throws, and this one ends up incomplete.
Yeah, but net gain by not being sacked, Nick, releasing that ball.
Took a pretty good shot there from Caruso.
I don't think he felt it, though.
He bounced right back up.
He sure did. Tough kid. But there's a good back and forth going in this game. So far, if you're Salem fans, you got to say, hey, you know what? Our team so far is matching up with our defense living on the field. The offense is finally giving some of the defensive personnel a rest, and it's really important for them. But the defense of Pinkerton, Nick, is as advertised. They're not going to give up easy.
1st and 10. On the 16, it's a pitch right side. Tedesco's got two blockers out in front. Lowers the shoulder down to about the 10-yard line. Good stop there out of the second level by Pinkerton defensive back David Sother Jr.
Yeah, another well-designed play. Tedesco, I'll go outside, I'll cut up. I'll read my blocks, and I'll follow them. Look at him. Look at that pivot. Lowers his shoulder and barrels for yardage. He's got his team in a good position here with 3rd and 3. But I bet you they're going to stiffen up here.
So 3rd and 3.
Wouldn't be surprised if a play action to the end zone.
Tedesco, the wing in motion. Lumley hands to Gonzalez. He goes right side. He drags the defender Day with him.
Unbelievable.
Down to about the 5-yard line. That is very close.
It's a first down.
Yeah, he should have that.
Yeah, first
and
down.
And he will. So 1st and goal coming up with the football just outside the 5-yard line.
Find two teams that have an arsenal of backs that they can go to any of them, Nick, like these two teams. I'm sure there are others as well, we know, but these guys are right up there, both of these teams, the way they run the ball. Here we go.
Lumley on 1st and goal. Handoff. Again, it's Gonzalez right side. He'll lean forward after the hit and get an extra yard down to about the 2. Adam Day there again for Pinkerton.
Yeah, Adam's busy. Again, great fakes. Watch the fake through the dive. Look at that. You can't even see the ball if you're a linebacker in the secondary there. He hides it so well and makes it a stealth handoff to the guy, and it's very difficult for linebackers to read and find where the ball is, Nick.
2nd and goal from the 2. Salem trying to tie the game. They go with Lumley. The quarterback sneak. He's close. He's in.
He's got it.
Touchdown, Salem.
Well, you got ourselves a game here.
Packed house here on senior night.
And they are
enjoying the lengthy drive. Yeah. That one goes nearly 5 minutes.
Oh, boy.
Began back at their own 20-yard line, and it's punched in from 2 yards away by the senior quarterback, Noah Lumley.
And don't get fooled. Take nothing away from Lumley, Sadisco, and Gonzalez, Nick. The rest of these supporting actors are doing a phenomenal job for Salem. Don't forget these linemen.
Extra point kick up and good off the right foot of Ryan Bryant. And we've got ourselves a game is right, 7-7. So Pinkerton scored first on a 1-yard touchdown from Ryan Catnode. It's just a minute into this second quarter. Salem responds as they piece together a lengthy and impressive-looking drive, primarily on the ground, with Noah Lumley finishing it off from 2 yards away. We're tied here at 7.
Well, one of the things you look at in an offensive coordinator and support staff on the offensive side of the ball is the ability to make adjustments when it's not working. And both Pinkerton and Salem, Nick, as they progress, as they get opportunities, are now the offense is starting to move the ball. That didn't happen by accident. That happened from making offensive adjustments based on the defenses they're seeing and making some maybe some blocking adjustments. So both these teams know exactly what they're doing and why, and here we go. I mean, they're doing a great job.
We welcome those of you watching live. We appreciate it. If you've not done so already, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. Of course, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube, and only on YouTube at FNLNH Media. This is a good one. Wow. Fielded at the goal line by Morrison, looking for room to his right. He's across the 20. He's hit at the 25. And he leans his way up to about the 28-yard line. So both teams, punch, counterpunch, able to put together 2 lengthy scoring drives, and now the onus is back on the visiting Astros to respond here as we head towards the midway point of this second quarter.
Well, this is the time that the depth of a team, Nick, towards the end of the second quarter and then usually by the end of the third quarter after they've played 3 full quarters. This is a time where the depth factor really plays in. We're going to see how they're holding up on the stamina front.
Tim Hersom back at the wheel. Going to hand off to Caden Michoud, left side. Little stutter step, first down. He's going to swim his way up to about the 43-yard line, a gain of 14 yards. Caden Michoud, 4 touchdowns a week ago, all in the first half in a blowout win over Brockton.
Oh, yeah. Watch Michaud read blocks. Watch. He's waiting for 49. He sees an inside seal. Where's he go? Outside. That takes a lot of reps and have that sixth sense of what's going on, and he finds running seams to extend it. What a terrific runner this young man is.
Meanwhile, Coach Abraham along the home sideline trying to get his players and assistant coaches to back up off the sideline to avoid another flag. Meanwhile, Morrison showing you what he can do in open space. Still alive along the sideline. He's going to end up inside the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. So that one ripped for about 32 yards.
34, 33 yards. Yeah, I agree, Nick. Watch Morrison's determination. He cuts in. Look at that outside cut. Looks like something. Look at this. And then he just keeps on driving, keeps the legs moving. Hold on to that football right there. You don't want to lose what you've gained there. What a terrific job by Morrison.
At the tail end of the run, but was able to hold on while being dragged down by Samuel Barrios.
This is brutal attack. Then you throw Catnode up the middle. He is a machine.
He's going to chip off about 4, maybe 5 yards there.
Yeah, when you get into bad weather, Nick, as we approach November, you better be ready for both of these football teams because they're in sync right now, and this is their season when things start getting nasty.
2 head coaches, firm believers in the wing T. As we spoke with Coach O'Reilly and Coach Abraham last night on FNL Gridiron. You can watch those interviews on our YouTube channel, but both say, hey, it's worked. In Coach O'Reilly's case, it's worked well for over 40 years. Meanwhile, Catnode on 2nd down and 5, trying to bounce it right side, won't get there. Finished off by a blue wave, Lucius Mosier. He's played well all season on the edge there, the senior with another tackle for Salem. Now a 3rd and 2 on the way.
There's something about a culture that the coach brings, and then there's something about the culture that the student body brings as well. And both of these teams love their offenses, love the running. Again, here you've got bad weather, and you can run the football like this. In nice weather, you can pass. But there are other teams that have that in their DNA. They're just a passing offense, and they can do it no matter what the weather is, Nick. It's all with who you are.
3rd and 2. Michoud, nice cut up field. Inside the 15, inside the 10. Churns his legs down to the 5-yard line.
Just
first
hard.
Down and more. So Michoud, the go-to back there. And the Astros knocking on the door again at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
Watch Catnode's block. You can't see it, but he opened up a hole. The guy backed away. It's actually not an actual block, but he went for him, and he forced him to go, the defender to go where he wanted him to go, which is what opened up that inside lane for Micho to cut. And, boy, this is about heart here, Nick. Both of these teams want this so bad, and that's what makes it such a fun game to watch.
Aaron Masson wrestled him down. Masson has played well in this first half with 3 tackles. Meanwhile, Catnote made a man miss initially, and it's going to be stopped shy of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. So pick up a 2 there. That clock will continue to tick. We're heading towards 3 minutes. Steve, it's barely 7:30. We're already at halftime, basically.
Yeah, it's one of the side benefits is it's all football all the time.
Right.
A shorter period of time, but it's condensed to just determination on both of these offensive squads. You know, Paul Levine said, I used to hate playing safety again. I'll go into that in a sec.
Hersom calls his own number, and the senior tumbles into the end zone for a 1 yard touchdown.
Yeah.
So Salem, after coming back a moment ago to tie the game, Pinkerton orchestrates another impressive drive, finished off by a short 1 yard touchdown run.
Well, my friend Andy Levine years ago told me when we were coaching youth football, said I used to go up against the single wing, Nick, and you just defensively, it's just you get pounded and pounded. And once all of a sudden they start winning the trench battle, it gets worse for the defensive backfield. It's a punishing offense if you can force your will on your opponent.
And now Harmony on for the extra point try. High snap, good hold, and the kick is good. So 14-7 with 3 minutes even remaining here in this fast-moving first half. Pinkerton back out in front by a touchdown, 14-7.
But is this kind of what you like, Nick? Now they answer, and Salem's got a 3-minute drive, which I believe with at least 2 timeouts, right? If not all three. It's all 3 timeouts.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
So here you go. So you got a situation now where if Salem can come back and answer, we go into the half with the horns locked. Boy, what a second half this is going to be, because if Salem can score here, they're going to walk in equally motivated, and there's just the second half's going to be fierce.
Reminder at halftime, full recap, stats, highlights, a look across the state as well. A busy night in week number 8. Some important games to get you updated on. We'll do all that at halftime, plus the on-field entertainment. It's a 20-minute scheduled halftime tonight, and we've got the Salem Marching Band, the dance team. They'll be out on the field here on senior night. So live entertainment and all the stats, highlights, and analysis you can handle, all coming up in just a few minutes at halftime.
I keep saying Tedisco. I apologize for that. You know what happens? I get a little amped up, Nick, when I see a guy run like that. He is something else.
He's played well in this first half.
I'll get it right the rest of the time. Geez, I've had my share of name issues this week, Nick. It's been fun.
Well, Tedisco is a player to watch for sure, not just for the remainder of this season, but the junior, scheduled to be back again next year with Salem as well as a senior. Here he is at the 1 yard line. Tedisco to the 15, slithers his way past one man at the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds at about the 26 yard line. Tackled there by a number of Astros, including James Caruso, the senior.
Never afraid to find the best seam that's available. Not every play you're going to have a Mack truck lane. In this case, watch Tedisco. He comes up, he sees where the weakest part of the seam, and he grabs his team, 5, 7, 8 yards on top of that because he busted that seam. He's got a tremendous ability to read blocks and sense where the weaknesses are to penetrate. Special runner.
Was Ryan Placey you got to him first.
Yep.
Meanwhile, around the corner, Tedisco, tackle for a loss. That's the corner, Dillon, who Coach O'Reilly praised when we spoke with him last night. Cameron Dillon, the junior, one of his speedsters, quote unquote. And he knows how to tackle in the open field as well, as we see there.
Brockton certainly knows that right now because he had himself a heck of a game on that edge controlling it. Look at this. This is just pure. Look at that. Look at his hips are square, and he's in the athletic position so he can make the move to scissor the legs, Nick. What terrific work.
Made the blocker miss, too.
Yes, he did. Separation is what it's all about. That's your first initial skill you got to learn.
2nd and 12, play action. The throw is behind Tedesco.
And he had everywhere to go on that. If he could have connected there, Nick, it was a lot of room for him to run after that.
Threw it behind him, got his right hand on it, but that went uncatchable. So now 3rd down.
Yeah.
And 12 on the way here for Salem. Clock stopped with 2:09 remaining.
And if they have to punt the ball away, you're going to get 140, 135, somewhere in that range, Nick. Maybe less, but with 3 timeouts. So this, it's going to be interesting to see if they get like 11 yards and it's 4th and 2, what Steve does. What Coach Abraham does.
Coach O'Reilly may want to spend a timeout here.
Well, yeah,
if Salem goes on the ground.
That's my point. Yeah, we don't know what the time's going to be. Whatever Coach O'Reilly wants.
Well, they're going to throw, or try to at least. Caruso's going to trip him up. Gets rid of it at the last moment, and that's going to be intentional grounding.
Yep.
It takes place right in front of the referee, Steve Hall, who reaches once again into the back pocket for the penalty flag.
Yeah,
Coach Abraham not happy.
Yeah, he's not happy because he feels as though the ball sprung loose. We're going to see what the real intent was here with Lumley on that either throw or just was looking to throw and got tackled blindly from behind.
Caruso has wreaked havoc here in this first half. As he trips him up.
I think Steve's in. Steve Hall. I think Steve Hall's within the grounds to call that, Nick, because it looked like at the end, instead of pulling it in, he just kind of dumped it out. I think Steve made the right call there.
So, this is going to put Salem in a dangerous spot.
Not that Steve cares what I think. He doesn't need to. But
the football at the 4-yard line. Going to have to be careful here, punting out of their own end zone. That's a good one. Short. Fair catch called for and made by Jamie Isaac.
Yeah, costly offensive drive
at
there.
The Salem 34-yard line, so a short field for Pinkerton. Armed with still 3 timeouts and 1:58 remaining on this second quarter clock.
Yeah, if you're Coach Abraham, you're thinking about there quickly, and you got to get rid of it. But what could have been if that pass over to Tedesco could have been met, but it was a little bit off the mark. But that would have been a play that would have driven him at least, I figure, down in the 40, 45-yard line in the Astro territory, Nick. It would have been a big gain, put them in a very different situation. But credit the defense here at Pinkerton for the relentless nature in which they're playing.
1st and 10 pitch, Morrison, little juke step. Second man gets him. About 3 yards downfield to about the 31-yard line. Morrison, part of this 3-headed attack out of the Pinkerton backfield, has ran well tonight. Picks up 4 officially there. Gets the clock moving down to 1:35. Well, Tim Hersom did not start tonight. Was on the sideline during the first series. We got to look at the sophomore quarterback instead, Aiden McDonald. Hersom returned for drive number 2 and has been in the lineup since. Meanwhile, Mishu trying to bounce it right side. Again, makes a man miss. Said that a lot tonight already. Ends up inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line. Still 3 yards or so shy of the first down marker as we head towards 1 minute remaining here before halftime.
I'm going to say that's a pretty difficult kick to make at this point if they get no gain of this next play, Nick. But if they get what's he got for timeouts? He's letting it run right now. Yeah, he got 3 timeouts. He can stop it 3 times, but the first down's imperative here for them.
Mishu hit at the line of scrimmage. Wrapped up close to the first down.
I think he got
it. Is there, the sophomore for the stick for Salem. They do give him the first down.
Yeah, that's a big first down right there.
They're going to place the football at the 24-yard line, and the clock is still running. Now down to 35 seconds. Now Coach O'Reilly, he's going to call it here with about 30 even, I bet.
They're going to put this back up around 49 seconds, Nick, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're going to fix it now.
Well, I think Coach O'Reilly is going to call a timeout here for sure. 27 seconds.
Yeah, but they're going to
trying to call one.
Yeah, they're going to add time on the clock for sure. No question. It's going to be something in the 40s, Nick. It just kept on running. Yeah,
I don't know. I think Coach O'Reilly may have let that run, and is now going to use his first timeout here with 27 seconds.
I don't think so. We'll see.
Reminder, Thursday, we're back on the air with another edition of FNL Gridiron every Thursday from here to the end of the season, all the way through Championship Sunday. Live, 6 o'clock. All right, Steve, you're right. They are going to add something here.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you know. So it looks
I'm
like
teasing you, buddy.
I don't know how many. 40 even.
I'm just having fun.
So 10 seconds added to the clock. And Pinkerton is now left with 2 timeouts remaining. Salem trying to come up with a key stand. Blue Devils will receive the football to begin the second half.
Oh, wow.
Bursum keeps it himself, bounces right side, lowers the shoulder, and is close to the 5-yard line.
You know, we saw this against Londonderry, Nick. This is Coach O'Reilly's secret weapon. This guy, watch him, the speed that this young man has. Now watch his break outside. Watch when he turns. See when he turns? Boy, he showed us in Londonderry with that touchdown run, and he showed it right there. But you got those 3 backs, and then you got a quarterback can do that upon ask. I mean, that's a pretty balanced attack, wouldn't you say?
Timeout, Blue Devils.
Absolutely. Bursum has really improved.
He has.
Since we first saw him, week 1?
Yeah.
As a junior last year, inherited the job. And, close to 2 years later, he's arguably one of the best quarterbacks in all of New Hampshire.
Well, but to the Pinkerton offense, he's the most valuable.
Yeah.
Because of what he does and how he's blended under what Coach O'Reilly and the offensive staff expect of him. And he's just improved on it. Remember, last year he had made some decisions early, on that were kind of more of a sophomore type decision, and then he grew towards the end of the year, and they had and that game against BG, which they came out victorious on. You could see the growth that he had made then as compared to before, and his off season must have been very productive.
Broken 80-yard touchdown run and a marquee win for Pinkerton over longtime rival Londonderry back in week number 4. Threw 2 touchdown passes a week ago in the victory against Brockton.
And even the one that Michaud caught there on the deep, that was still a phenomenally well thrown ball.
Handoff, Michaud, stretch play, touchdown. It's a 5-yard touchdown run for the senior who found pay dirt 4 times a week ago. He scores here with just under 28 seconds to play in the first half, and he gives his team a 2-touchdown lead for the first time tonight at 20-7.
And who gets the ball in the second half? I believe
Salem.
Salem does, correct. So that's important that they get the ball in the second half, that they can but this is not what Coach Abraham where he wanted to be. 14-7 within striking distance of 1 touch, 1 score, and then getting the ball to open the second half was certainly a neutral position, but you don't want to go down further in this situation. So
Peyton Harmony trying to go 3 for 3. The right-footed kicker gets this one up, and it goes right down the middle. So 21-7. Pinkerton takes advantage of the short field. They need only 2.5 minutes to go 34 yards. It's capped off with a 5-yard touchdown run by the senior Caden Michaud. It's taken a little bit of the breath out of this crowd, which was rocking and rolling. Prior to game time, the seniors were honored down on the field, a great senior night celebration. And it's a packed house here with a large standing student section. But right now, the only real noise you can hear is from the Pinkerton end, who made the drive up Route 111. And they're here in their red hoodies and hats, enjoying what they've seen here.
I'm hearing some great 70s music with Paul Stanley leading the rock and roll. And they're still playing it today with the same kind of newness, if you will, that it was back then. And when you're 60, Nick, it does make you feel a little younger, I have to tell you. But you're in the prime right there at your age there.
Meanwhile, the rain has been kind of on and off in terms of intensity. And I'd say it's starting to pick back up here as we head towards halftime.
Some guide lights going on off in the distance. I don't know if you can see them over the field.
Here's the kick by Peyton Harmony. And for the third time tonight, it goes into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah. Tedesco wanted to run it. And I think Steve is letting him know your posture was as if it was going to be a fair catch. So they'll bring it out to the 20.
Save Salem some time, perhaps, as no clock time was used there.
21-7, but almost pretty fair and even. Of the 24 minutes, probably 20 minutes. And those 4 minutes that Pinkerton was able to take advantage of opportunities has been, to me, Nick, has been the difference so far.
The Astros, the game's only takeaway, it came on special teams about midway through the first quarter. Lumley.
Oh, what a play.
On a quarterback boot.
Who is that?
Goes out of bounds.
That's 44.
Second tackle of this first half for Pinkerton linebacker Benjamin Quintilani.
Yeah, watch the way Benjamin comes across laterally across the field. This is a guy that's trying to help his team win the football game. And this sort of speed and the lane that he chooses and the way that he watch the lane that he chooses. Look at way off to the right there. He's coming. Look at him separate himself, shoulder up, and then makes the play and pushes him out of bounds.
He took the right angle in pursuit there.
That's it, Nick. He did.
Kind of a straight 90-degree angle, really.
But staying square the whole time. Yeah. And, you know, the both of these teams, really, but Pinkerton in particular in the first half, the separation they're getting from the offensive players when they're trying to be blocked is really, really well-trained.
Pinkerton, as we know, they've eclipsed the 50-point total in 3 of the first 7 games, but it was Coach O'Reilly who was quick to praise the defense last night. When I asked him an open-ended question about basically what's been the highlight so far,
right?
Well, it's been the defense.
Absolutely right. And I think he alluded to the fact that they've been growing every single week and getting better. I think that Brockton attack with a passing really makes me think about how they're going to match up defensively against the passing attack. And they clearly have the tools and the goods to get it done, Nick. And when you look at the teams that are in the upper echelon, you know, that are obviously, for lack of a better word, favored. So when they go into a game, you certainly got to look at those offenses like the Dovers and the Bedfords and the Londonderrys that are very comfortable passing the football and how their defensive backfield is going to stack up. So,
meanwhile, the game stopped for a moment.
Who is it?
As Jamie Isaac walks off the field. Speaking of the defense, of course, he's a big part of that secondary. The junior, one of the faster players. Not just on the team, but in the school.
Yep. One of the track stars, right?
Right. And right now, looks like he's injured one of his hands or his elbow, some kind of an upper body injury. Hopefully we'll see him back sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, Tedesco up the middle. Able to gash the defense there as he gets up to the Salem 48-yard line. So pickup of 28. Clock, meanwhile, inside of 15 seconds, and Coach Abraham is going to spend a timeout here.
Good seal block. Inside, I couldn't get the number, Nick, but that really gave him a nice lane to run through.
Good block downfield from the big tight end as well, Cologne.
100%.
Who has been busy in this first half.
Yep.
Well, each team with just one regular season game remaining comes your way next week. And, of course, Salem, I guess they saved the best for last. They've got Pinkerton tonight and then Londonderry next week to wrap up the 9-game schedule.
I think both of these games, whether they wind up 6-2, Nick, or 8-0, or 7-1, ending up with these two top-end teams here that they're going to play, really going to sharpen the sword. And they're going to, if they could come in this game and end the game competitively and show that they can do a lot of things and have only a few refined areas they need to correct, then that's going to go a long way to have film if they face these teams or the other brass of the league in the playoffs. But they're a playoff team.
Pinkerton hoping to end the season with a win at Central. Lumley going to go deep. It's down the near sideline, and it's incomplete.
Wow. I think he got away with a little push right there.
Some contact, but that one was at least 10 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think that's why I didn't call it. That's
Right.
absolutely. But if this was a pass that was catchable, well, look at this arm by Sadisco. That is a bomb. Pushing out of bounds there, but the ball was out of bounds, so it was uncatchable. So nice job by the official.
Yeah. That got some of the home fans upset. But
Yeah, but it didn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. That's not interference if it's uncatchable.
8 seconds. And now a 2nd down and 10 from the Salem 47 officially. Lumley, snap, double handoff to Disco. Gets around the corner, trying to get out of bounds here, and does with just 1.5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, but that extra 12, 13 yards there, Nick, puts him within, certainly within Lumley's range to throw something in the end zone on the last play here.
Picks up 11. Actually, Steve, they're gonna mark him out of bounds.
You're kidding.
Shy of the first down.
I didn't see that.
Stepped out apparently at the Pinkerton 45-yard line, so it's 3rd and 2.
Yeah, we have no idea over here where that line is. So.
Either way, it's going to be the final
They're
play
right
of
on
this
it.
first half.
Yeah, so it's a small gain, but there is one more play.
Astros with 2 deep safeties. Lumley against a 6-man box. Going to throw over the middle, and that one incomplete.
Boy, you got to look back.
Pass incomplete.
So that'll do it for the first half here in Salem. Pinkerton undefeated through 7 weeks. We've got the lead on the road here at Grant Field by a score of 21-7. A tale of field position. But once both offenses got going, they put together some points. So 21-7 after, well, a full 24 minutes of play here in Salem.
Yeah, I mean, the game doesn't feel like a 20. If you took 3 or 4 minutes out of this game, it by no means feels like 21-7. But it's every minute that counts. And Coach O'Reilly's Pinkerton Astros have fully taken advantage of every opportunity they've been given. And their ball security and their management has been outstanding. And no fumbles, no interceptions, no recoveries against them. And every time a mistake was made that they could take advantage of, they did it. And I think that's the 14 points that I see out there of a very disciplined, refined football team. Salem is doing a great job defensively, I feel, against it. But, boy, if you look at the amount of minutes that Salem's defense was on the field, I bet you it's 2-1 or close to it. And that just wore them down with this potent offensive attack that we have in the Pinkerton Astros backfield, and including Tim Hersom.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look back at that first half with stats and highlights. We've got a Week 8 scoreboard to get to as well, and some live entertainment, as I believe the band is scheduled to get going on the field. So don't go away. We'll be right back in just a few moments. At halftime, Pinkerton with a 21-7 lead over Salem. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Salem. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Pinkerton leading the Blue Devils by a score of 21-7 here in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. A game of field position, at least in that first quarter. No points scored until just over a minute into the second quarter. That's when Pinkerton capped off a lengthy drive with a 1-yard touchdown run by Ryan Catno. But Salem responded, going 80 yards in just over 5 minutes before their quarterback, senior Noah Lumley, scored from 2 yards out to tie the game at 7. However, Pinkerton would have the last laugh before halftime as they score twice in the final 3 minutes. The first, with 3 minutes even remaining, Tim Hersom with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. And then in the final 30 seconds, Caden Mishu took advantage of a short field, capped off a 34-yard drive with a 5-yard touchdown run. And that is where we are, 21-7. Pinkerton hoping to improve to 8-0 overall if they can hand Salem just their second loss of the season.
If you're Pinkerton, you wish you didn't even have a half because you just want to continue that roll. One of the benefits of the half is it gives a long period of time for a team like Salem, who's very well coached, to adjust. Is this going to be just a continuation with Pinkerton getting stronger, or is this going to be a tale of two halves, especially where it's somewhat in Salem's control of how they're going to start this half because they do get the ball. But to me, let's reflect for a second on the first half with the sort of inside football, if you will, about what happened. That special teams error on the punt off of the back of the leg was really a critical point for Pinkerton to execute. They executed a touchdown. They had a great drive. They go down and score. They make it hurt. But there's another backside of that as well, and that is that the defense of Salem just continually stayed out in the field. And that's a hard thing to do when you're playing against a single wing, Nick. The other part is that the play where Lumley rolled out and got the intentional grounding, the penetration and the timing of the defense of Pinkerton's defensive blitz calls, those coming from the corner and creating stunts that are opening up lanes for blitzes to come in and get pressure on Lumley, and the timing of them, they almost knew when felt like you knew when he was going to pass, and they brought it all, and it was very, very effective. So when you look at Salem, you say, gain on offense, gain. So much of what they did was so well, but Pinkerton has taken care of the 4 minutes, I would say, of the 24 minutes. Pinkerton had opportunities, and they aced every single one of them. Last point, Pinkerton has played, for all intents and purposes, a flawless first half. They've made no mistakes that are really meaningful. That's giving energy and to the Blue Devils, and I think that's the difference in the game. Both of these teams are playoff contenders. There's no question about it, but Pinkerton's got to be feeling pretty good at 21-7 right now.
Other scores from a jam-packed Friday night schedule here in week number 8. Oh, where to begin? I've got a few to sort through. I suppose we'll begin with Bedford, as we typically do.
Thornton Academy, right?
The defending Division I champs playing their first and only out-of-state opponent in week number 8. That's Thornton Academy out of Saco, Maine. And right now, in Bedford, the Bulldogs have a 28-0 lead.
Right, wow.
Over Thornton.
They're potent.
They played a year ago up in Maine. That was a 1-score difference.
Right. I don't know how good Thornton is. They're usually traditionally a pretty good football team. So if that's still the case now, that is quite a statement in the first half against Thornton Academy.
So they're at halftime there in Bedford. Bulldogs continuing to roll 28-0 over Thornton Academy. Elsewhere in Division I, this one might shake you up, Steve. Merrimack with a 7-0 halftime lead over Portsmouth.
Wow. Where is that? That's at Merrimack tonight,
That's
right?
in Portsmouth.
Oh, that's in Portsmouth. Wow.
So that is a 7-0 lead as Coach
Jackson
is a shock. Looks to play spoiler. Nashua North in a back and forth with Keene in a D1 West battle that's usually pretty good. Well, again tonight, pretty good. 21-10. Nashua North out in front of Keene as the Titans look to make a late playoff push. Londonderry, they're right on schedule.
Yep.
34-0 over Alvern. Yeah. That game is at halftime. And I've saved the best maybe for last.
They're
Steve.
on fire, Londonderry.
Concord doubling up Dover at halftime, 14-7.
Wow. Got some of those East, Dover. They win this game. This is going to be an interesting playoff. We might have to bring Roger Brown and Jay Pinto, bring them all together at some point, like we were talking about. But that game with Portsmouth, 7-0. It's hard to imagine Portsmouth not scoring. You wonder what the roster looks like, injuries look like. You don't know, or it's just that that Coach Jackson. I mean, you saw what he did in the Chad game, Nick. I thought he had to put a great game plan together there.
Merrimack gets better every year as the season goes on.
As the season goes on. They always do.
Every year.
And obviously something's working well for him right now because Portsmouth's a solid football team. I was going to also say, Nick.
An undefeated football team.
And you know how we call, from time to time, in an endearing fashion, we call Coach Fitzgerald the ship captain.
Yes.
In my mind, I think about Coach Patnode, and always a Badger comes to mind. And I'll tell you, he is not going to go down in any game. I love his style. I love his coaching technique. He knows who he is and what he wants to accomplish. And that is a pretty impressive thing coming back like that, 21-18, right? Isn't that the score right now?
No. What game are you talking about?
Keene. Coach
21-10.
No, it's 21-18. I just saw an updated score.
Well, you're ahead of me.
Yep. So how about that?
Still another couple others to get to here, Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done, Nick.
Timberlane. Well, since I said that, they keep rolling in here. You spoke about the ship captain with Coach Fitzgerald and the Timberlane Owls. They're out in front of Winnicott through now 3 quarters, 21-6. Spalding, they're doubling up Nashua South. Red Raiders looking for a rare win, 28-14, about midway through the third quarter. Against South.
South, right.
And then, of course, the big Division II battle as well, as Steve pulls out the cheat sheet. Pelham with a 26-7 lead at halftime over Sauhegan. Of course, Pelham undefeated, Sauhegan undefeated against Division II competition, but right now it's all Pythons. 26-7 as they look to win their 37th in a row.
Yeah, I mean, this team is loading, Nick, every year before we go to the game. And,
the defending Division II champs.
2 champions, 2 years in a row.
They'll be the favorite again.
I think so. But, never count Coach Boquette and the Sabres out. They're a good football team. But Pelham is just bringing it.
Here's a kick from Peyton Harmony. Fielded at the 5-yard line by Kevin Tedisco. The junior to his right is across the 25 before he's spun down out of bounds. Well, the rain is still kind of coming down.
But tapering.
Tapering off for sure. It's kind of a sprinkle at this point. It varied on and off in that first half. But
well, John went in and changed the programming on his weather Doppler program. And as a result, I think he's changing the weather. So this guy can not only build tents and campsites up here for us, he can do great things. So keep it going, John.
He's also the pilot tonight.
He is.
Up here with us on the roof of the press box. Right side run. It's Daniel Hughes. Another one of these Salem juniors.
Nice game.
We're going to get used to, I'm sure, over the next couple of seasons. He's a kid that may not get his name called as much, but he's a big part of that.
Gets it done.
That rushing attack, as we know. He's going to make the most of that one, pick up at least 6 to set up second down and 4.
And they got to make most of this drive, Nick, because it's critical they answer back.
Trailing 21-7. Right side run again. It's Hughes, and he's got a first down.
What a well-designed play.
Over the 40 to the 42-yard line before he's tackled by Centeno.
Look at this. Look at this lead blocking. Excellent stealth handoff. Look at the lead blocking coming through. Gonzalez, he does it all. Tedisco does it all. They don't care. Steve is right. We know he's right. They don't care. Neither of these teams, they're all about blocking for their teammates.
Yeah, so two very unselfish ground attacks, in the words of both head coaches. Lumley, something went wrong there. Is going to have to call a timeout.
Oh, boy.
As you can see, an animated Coach Abraham springs into the huddle.
Yeah, this is his style, though. He has expectations in the second half. You don't think he knows how important this drive is and how he's got to have his guys in a high, very productive, and they've got to execute to a high level here. He knows he doesn't give up. He plays. Steve Abraham's saying, I'm here to coach for 4 quarters. Let's play for 4 quarters. And he has high expectations, and let's see how they do. But that first moving of the sticks, Nick, I thought looked pretty solid. Yeah. So good blocking.
Well, I think he also understands how important this drive is.
That's my point. Yeah, absolutely.
With a minute gone here in the second half, no hesitation to use a timeout there. Make sure that his guys are on the same page here for an upcoming 1st and 10.
Absolutely. So
don't want to lose any momentum.
Well, he's trying to let them realize, trying to instill in them, it's got to be done perfectly.
1st and 10. Play fake. Lumley on the rollout. Knocked out of bounds. Quintilani from one of the linebacker spots gives him a bump. And just a 2-yard pickup there to set up 2nd down and 8.
Very important that they don't get caught in those 3rd and 14, 2nd and 17 type situations in the second half, Nick. If you can't get a first down, you can't get a first down, but you can't go backwards because that's just going to energize the Pinkerton offense when they come on the field. So,
double handoff. Tedesco going to get wrapped up below the knee there by Caruso.
Yeah, nice pickup by the Astro defense right there, Nick. Watch how they read before they react. You're going to see here, it's a lethal play if you think you're going to chase the ball. Here we go. Now watch how Pinkerton's defense reads and stays. Look at the linebackers reading and holding. Boom, waiting for it. Look at that. And then Pekowski comes in and just cleans up. Comes all the way down the line. Good defense.
3rd and 7. Pitch right side. This is the freshman. His first carry tonight. For Colin Salkovitz.
Wow.
Salkovitz is close, but I think maybe a yard and a half.
I'd like to see this one again. Unless he was out of bounds, Nick, it looked like he had. We're going to see it here. All right, he's up about the 7.
Ball in between the 48, 47-yard line.
Yep.
I thought a yard shy. Lumley on 4th and 1. Pumping the legs, gets the second effort.
Wow.
And the first down.
Coach Abraham will like that. And his teammates were right there to help him get that momentum. Watch this just sheer commitment. Look at this roll here. Had some help from his friends. And I've seen plays where players have broken loose on those, Nick, and they go all the way down to the old end zone.
Meanwhile, an injured Blue Devil. It's the center, Cody Stiles. The senior was slow to get up.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Get off the field under his own power, but he's going to have to take at least a playoff here.
Yep. I think he's going right back in, though.
So 1st and 10. Salem able to piece together
so far
an impressive drive back in the first half when they answered the bell early in the second quarter. An 80-yard drive was the yardage, but not much sustained success since. This drive, promising, trying to make it a 1-score game. Hughes, a right side run, stood up around the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. That's Catnode. Talk about what he does as the fullback on offense. He's pretty good defensively at the linebacker spot as well.
Yeah, Coach O'Reilly's got a host of guys that play both ways, and they get it done both ways. And I will say, Nick, that I've seen a few players on both sides show a little bit of the beginnings of fatigue. This has been a hard-fought game so far.
And there's a lot of players on both teams that go both ways.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, the ball is on the ground. It's like it slipped out of Lumley's hands. The quarterback does recover, but it's a costly recovery.
It is.
As they lose 6, and now a 3rd down and long on the way.
Yep. He's. The ball's slick. Watch this.
3rd and 15.
Yeah, it looked to me, this is all about penetration from 76 and 7, Nick. What that does is it crowds the zone there where he's trying to get the handoff, and the running back had to slow down, and that just took the timing, and it bounced off of his hip when he tried to pull it off, and it's a slick football. So good penetration. Now, a lot of that was defensively created. Good job by the defensive line.
Pinkerton's going to stack the box here on 3rd down. Salem rolls out the quarterback, but the pass is incomplete.
Well,
Lumley tries to find Tedesco near the stick. but it ends up incomplete along the line of scrimmage, and now it's punt time for Salem.
Watch this throw. It looks like it's with a catchable ball, but we're not going to be able to tell until the end. No, maybe a little early jump, but it was a little high. So, but I'm really impressed the way Lumley can go to his weak side and throw with that kind of velocity 25 yards down the field. It's impressive.
4th down and 15. 4 minutes in, third quarter. This one a high kick. Pinkerton going to stay away as it takes a bounce inside the 20. It'll be ruled down at about the 16. So the Pinkerton defense, they bend a little bit, but they don't break. They force the punt. Now the Astro offense takes over with that 14-point lead still on the board.
Absolutely, Nick. They're winning the trenches on against the offensive line. They're standing them up and they're getting separation. And a lot of times when they focus for attacking the gaps, they're winning that battle. They're not getting. They're penetrating the backfield.
On 1st and 10 from their own 16, Michoud. There's a flag on the play as he tiptoes around the corner. Takes a big hit from Hughes as he goes out of bounds. That's got the fans riled up.
Michoud loved it, though.
Again, there's a flag back at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, Michoud comes back and he flexes. He says, bring it on. They like it. Both these teams just love to hit. Love to watch these guys play. But was that a holding?
Yep, we've seen some big hits tonight. Saw a handful of penalties.
See if we can see it.
In that first half. I think 6 total, 3 each way. And we get our first penalty here on the hold against Pinkerton in this third quarter.
Yeah, I think they're going to call it on Morrison, Nick, because he had his arm clutched around the outside back of the shoulder, and
he was engaged
trying to scare him a little bit, and he got
engaged with the defender Benjamin Walton.
Yeah, defender's got to have a fair chance. He's got to be in the front of the breastplate and try to control him there. So that does put Pinkerton deep in the hole.
1st and 17.
Defense got a hold here.
Football at their own 9-yard line. Hersom going to go to the air. Deep down the middle. Morrison is there. Morrison in a foot race. Morrison is going to go all the way for the touchdown.
Wow, deja vu all over again.
A 92-yard touchdown pass from Tim Hersom. And one of the speedier players statewide, Matt Morrison, on the receiving end of that long bomb. Pinkerton opens up a 20-point lead, 27-7.
All right, the players get it done, but the coaches set it up. Who in their mind would think that he would, in this situation after a hold, would do a play-action pass and go with that play? And that's the very element of surprise is the very reason why the separation existed, Nick. And Michaud just knows how to run a route. Hersom and him connect. Tremendous call and a great execution.
It's the first pass Pinkerton has thrown to them, by the way.
And the timing is so interesting.
Kick up and good. As Harmony is now 4 for 4. So a 92-yard touchdown from Hersom to Morrison. That's been a combination that has worked very well for Pinkerton this season.
Absolutely.
And it works well here with 4.5 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
But think about it. You're deep in your zone, Nick. You have a penalty. Everything's kind of just quiet. You're kind of thinking, well, they're going to sit on the lead. They're just going to try to run it out and maybe get a first down. If they don't, they'll kick it away. And then you call that play the next play after the holding call. Just the element of surprise was there.
On a wet night, too.
On a wet night, and Coach O'Reilly pulled the trigger on offense, and there you go.
So Tim Hersom, who did not start tonight.
How about Tim?
Came into the second series and has been in the lineup since. Hooks up with the junior on a deep pass. The 2-year starter had a 1-yard touchdown run in that first half. So a score on the ground, a score through the air for Hersom. And now Pinkerton with a comfortable 28-7 lead on the board here, not even midway through this third quarter.
I may have said Michaud there, Tim. I meant
Morrison.
Apologize for that. Congratulations. When you see that kind of speed, you realize that.
Well, it's not hard to confuse the two.
There's a lot of similarities.
A lot of similarities and very fast. Two of the faster players statewide. Tedesco going to limp his way across the 20 up to about the 21-yard line. Pretty good tackle around the legs by Joseph Osanya, the sophomore. Said his name a few times this season in special teams, and pretty good open field tackle there. So Salem, with their backs to the wall now, Steve, trailing by 3 scores with the football officially at their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, you start thinking about Hersom, how he's developing, and that's happening at the best possible time for the Astros, Nick, that he's really hitting another level. His arm and his running and so on and so forth is just becoming a and he's got a 6'5" frame. And this guy's got the height and in order to get the vision over the type of athletes that he'll be facing next level, and he's just a junior. So
no, he's a senior now.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's last year. Started as a junior,
right?
And
now he's a 2-year starter.
And now he's a 2-year starter. So
that's experience on top of the physical gifts.
Yes, and you also see the progression you're looking for in the second year,
right,
with a frame like that and the training that he's got. He's executing now at a high level.
Meanwhile, on 1st and 10, that was Gonzalez for a 4-yard gain, and now this is Gonzalez for what looks like no gain.
Yep.
As Pinkerton was ready, Pikowski and company. Up front, Day has played well. He's in that pile as well.
Yep.
Gonzalez on the carry.
So Pinkerton, as we know, they can run the 3-4. They can run the 4-3, whatever it is. Those guys up front are going to be big and hard to move, and that's been the case tonight as well.
Well, the penetration. Watch the penetration they get here. Watch off the ball, really not getting moved. Look at the separation that Pikowski's. Yeah, they're controlling the gaps, period.
Pitch to Disco, looking for the edge, left side. Runs past one man, drags another across the 35.
Such a valuable player.
Got a first down. It's a pickup of 8. Tedesco has ran hard tonight. Set up what was Salem's lone score in that first half. It was Lumley, the quarterback, that got the ball into the end zone, but on that drive particularly, Tedesco was perhaps the bell horse.
I don't know any edge running that I've seen.
Bell cow.
Yep. I don't even know any edge running, Nick, that I've seen in Division I this year that hits the edge as quickly as Salem does. It hits the line of scrimmage as quickly as they do.
Got another procedural penalty here.
That's lining up in the neutral zone there, so they're going to call that every time. Very well officiated tonight, Nick. I thought the penalties that were called they're just managing the game extremely well.
I have not seen a call I haven't agreed with.
I don't either. It's more than just it's just the tempo and the flow in which they control the game, keep it moving. If you notice, in between plays, the ball's put back at center very quickly. Everybody's moving in unison. There's no wasted time, no whistles, no referees' timeouts.
Right.
No need to communicate because the call was clearly made properly. It's just I can go on and on. Steve's got a great crew there. And it just makes the game flow that much more fun. And
it's against the defense.
So credit to them. Yeah,
encroachment against the Pinkerton line.
So Coach Abraham will take that 1st and 5, Nick, there. Got to get the ball, starting to move it, needs to start rolling downhill here. Forget about the score at this point. It's about putting together a drive 7 points at a time.
1st and 10 becomes 1st and 5 after the penalty. They go up the middle on 1st and 5, and that's not going to happen.
Yep.
Again, Pinkerton able to flood the zone. Looks like Day was in there. Anthony Caruso. I don't know how many times we're going to say his name tonight.
Yeah.
He's provided the pass rush and helps out against the run.
It's hard to know how to play from behind. It's art to know how to play from ahead.
I like that.
And Pinkerton's doing a great job. Their whole defensive line is just trying to clog the gaps up the middle. We don't care if you get 3 yards. We're going to run the clock out. We're not going to give you the big plays.
3rd down.
Oh, wow.
Coming up after 2nd and 3. He loses yardage. It's Day is right. Adam Day.
What a beast.
Who, of course, is the center on the offense. One of the defensive linemen. He's one of the better wrestlers in the business, from what I understand. And playing like a wrestler tonight as he gets Hernandez down around the shoulders.
Everything you want to happen just happened. You've got
Gonzalez
a chase laterally down the line from behind, and you've got a corner coming up. I couldn't tell the number who that was. I'm assuming it was number 8. Corner coming up, Nick, and you've got that team tackling behind the line of scrimmage that you're looking for. And but how many times have we talked tonight about the defensive line? It's been all game.
It's been the story.
Done a terrific job.
3rd down and 8.
Of Pinkerton.
Lumley, play fake, going to throw, down the seam, incomplete.
Yep. Again.
Threw it upstairs, trying to hook up with Kalen Smith, the senior, but that one sailed on him a bit. And now 4th down and 8 on the way, inside of 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Look at this, Nick. Just the system of getting the ball quickly back to the line, keeping the flow of the game going. Bang. It's already back there, and the ball was down at the 15-yard line. It's just a whole crew working together in unison. I'm talking about the officials.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
And they've also
they've
also had to rotate in those fresh footballs,
Absolutely.
those dry footballs as well,
Yep.
a little more frequently than normal.
All for the benefit of the players. And
Line drive punt. Take a roll inside the 30.
So
come to a stop at the 26-yard line. No return. Pinkerton will take over with a 28-7 lead late in this third quarter.
Smart. What did Coach O'Reilly's team, best special teams, get trained to do? You're up 28-7. Why do you even care about a darn run back? And Coach O'Reilly made sure let them know, and they demonstrate that on the field. Everything's poison. Get away from the football. Let them recover it. Get our offense out. That's about the art of knowing, not the heart, but the art of knowing how to play from ahead.
Particularly relevant tonight, given that the game's only turnover came on special teams.
Yep.
By the way, Portsmouth has come back to tie the game early in the fourth quarter against Merrimack. That game even now at 7.
I love those updates.
I know you do.
Oh, I love them.
Clippers trying to avoid their first loss of the season. Merrimack hoping to play a little bit of a spoiler role in week number 8. So
it's not personal, Nick. It just makes me feel a little liberated when Ben puts those up there. So it doesn't have to put all of them, but just once. I get a win once in a while where I can.
Once in a while, I'll throw you.
And then I got a good friend from ETV, Nashua Television, sending me, my friend Pete, sending me some stuff. He's helping me out. So at least I feel like I'm in the ball game anyway.
2nd and 9. Morrison right side across the 30. Still alive at the 32-yard line. Finally whistled dead at about the 33.
How many running yards do you think Morrison has tonight, Nick, if you had to guess? 80? More?
I think that might be generous.
Generous?
He hasn't touched it that much.
But he's had some good. He's had
7-8 carries. I'd say 6-7 a pop. I'm thinking 50.
All right.
Coach O'Reilly will know that.
Of course he will. But balancing it all out, he balances, and so does Coach Abraham. He balances these guys out, and it's and that's what makes the fakes so effective.
Yeah, and that's one thing Coach O'Reilly was quick to bring up last night. It's the fact that this is a committee situation.
What a rush.
Yeah, not fooled by the play fake there.
Not at all.
As Hughes is going to take down Hersom for a sack. Senior on senior crime here late in the third quarter. And now Pinkerton looks like they're going to have to punt here with a 4th and 9 on the way.
And what did Hersom do? Complete tuck, hold the ball, get it secure, and just fall down. Don't give any oxygen to the current state of the game right now to the opposition. Don't do it, and he didn't do it. And these are the sort of maturity things you look in a quarterback. If he can learn that at high school, imagine what he can do at the college level later on. So, good job by Tim Hersom.
Good punt here by Harmony. Fair catch called for and made by Smith
With a fair catch.
at about the 38-yard line.
I take nothing away from Salem in this game. I think they're a solid football team. But the storyline here really is nothing wrong with Salem, Nick. This is about the Pinkerton Astros strengthening in the last couple games. They in Londonderry and Bedford seem to be really riding high from what I can see. And all three of these teams just
there's another update for you, Steve. Ben's got your back tonight. As Concord still out in front. It's over 21-14 in what may be considered an upset.
Well, if you don't have Bahoma, it's absolutely an upset. Even with Bahoma, I would say it's overcoming.
There's
underdog.
a pitch. Right side, Tedesco again tackled in pursuit.
Tedesco on
The yards have been hard to come by on that side of the field, with Adam Day registering another tackle there for Pinkerton.
2nd and 6.
What are these powder bombs that seem to be sweeping across the fan base in the New Hampshire High School Division
Yeah,
I
that seems to be a trend.
It really is.
They kind of look like smoke clouds.
Well, I wasn't sure. I was kind of. I don't smell any burgers, so it's not burger smoke. I'm not allowed to eat the rest of
unfortunately,
the night anyway.
I think the rain has kind of dampened some of the off or on-field activities tonight. No band at halftime, which was a disappointment, and no Snack Shack either. Meanwhile, the fumble is going to give Pinkerton the ball back.
Wow.
That ball got away from Gonzalez, I think bounced twice before it ended up with one of the Pinkerton players. That may have been Centano. It's definitely Astro football, and Pinkerton going to take over in Salem territory at the Blue Devil 46.
Yeah, I think if we see this, it looks to me like there was a hand or something in around the ball from one of the defenders that shook it loose.
I think it was Quintilani.
Was it? Okay.
And then Centano able to dive on it for the recovery. So that's the second takeaway tonight by Pinkerton. Special teams came up with a fumble, and now the defense. And now the offense is going to fumble the ball as well. Yeah, Morrison.
Not sure they got it back.
Loose. Pinkerton is going to keep it. And they'll pick up a yard in the process, so 2nd down and 9. All right, we've got scores coming up after the game, including some that have gone final already. And we'll continue to, if we can, cycle some updates on the screen for you as well. Busy night.
It is.
In week number 8, statewide. But, of course, a full rundown coming after the game as well. You can see there a good play by Walton to strip it loose. Fortunately for Pinkerton, Morrison was able to dive back on it. Meanwhile, a false start
on the left end, I think. 80.
It's another pre-snap penalty for the Astros.
49-yard line.
Had 3 or 4 tonight. It's going to cost them 5 there.
12.8 seconds left in the
ball goes back to the Astro 49-yard line, and Pinkerton in no hurry here in the final 10 seconds. So that's going to do it. We played 3 quarters here in Salem. Pinkerton able to extend their lead now to 28-7 on a 92-yard hookup from Tim Hersom to Morrison. And right now, Pinkerton with a comfortable lead as we head down the stretch. Will they stay undefeated? Or does Salem have some magic on their home field in the 4th quarter? We find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, one play in the books here in the 4th quarter. While we were away, a 15-yard pickup by Caden Michoud. So we get a look at the replay, able to break a tackle and get Pinkerton a fresh set of downs at the Salem 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Hersom to the air. Just the second time tonight. It's complete. And Michoud able to leap a man at the 30 before he's taken down by Walton at about the 26-yard line. Pinkerton has played with the lead more often than not tonight. After a scoreless first quarter, they got on the board with a 1-yard touchdown run by Ryan Catno to take a 7-0 lead. That lead did not last long as Salem came back, put together a 5-minute, 80-yard drive that was ended with a 2-yard touchdown run by Salem senior quarterback Noah Lumley. 7-7 going into the final 3 minutes before halftime, but Pinkerton would score twice. Once on a Tim Hersom quarterback keeper, and the second, with just 28 seconds remaining, a 5-yard touchdown run from that man right there, Caden Michoud. 21-7 our halftime score, and then the big play came early in the third quarter. A 92-yard throw and catch from Tim Hersom to Morrison, and that's where we are here, Steve. Now a minute into the fourth quarter, it's 28-7 Pinkerton.
Salem defense getting worn down, Nick. A lot of hands on the hips. Definitely Pinkerton, is kind of playing downhill right now, and Salem doing everything they can. But
this drive began back at the Astro 16-yard line.
Yep.
And they find themselves now at the Salem 16.
Yep.
Tackle there by Hughes. He's played well at the linebacker spot for Salem tonight. No gain there for Catnode. Now a 2nd down and 10 coming. 2 minutes in the books here, fourth quarter. Both teams, of course, were unbeaten against in-state competition coming in. Pinkerton overall 7-0 following last week's win over the Massachusetts opponent, Brockton High School. And Salem, their only loss through 7 weeks was against Wachusett down in Mass a couple of weeks back. Hersom on a play fake that goes nowhere. In fact, they lose yards as Walton is there to get the quarterback around the ankle at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, not much you can do there. That's just a great rush by Salem, taking advantage of a handoff issue, and they were right in the backfield. And when you see that, you see a football team. Yes, they may have their hands on their hips. They're trying to get their air back, but they're not giving up. And that there's a lot of pride in this Blue Devil football team. And
especially for the seniors.
Yep,
their final home game tonight, they were honored prior to the game, a class of 18 players.
Yep.
Not to mention the cheerleaders and the band and the managers and all the other support system folks that make a program happen.
Yep.
They get their well-deserved moment in the sun, so to speak. And
look at this hustle by Salem.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to fight to the end. They've
Absolutely.
Made that pretty apparent as they tackle Mishu on 3rd and long. It's now 4th down, and it looks like 16 coming up here.
But this attitude, Nick, helps you. It may not help you tonight. It may help you tonight. It doesn't matter. It's the only way you play this game, and they're doing it, and it's gonna come back because there's a culture and an attitude of not giving up on the field, and they're showing that tonight.
And, of course, they Blue Devils with big things perhaps expected for next year. I don't know. We don't talk about next year until this one's in the books, but they've got a lot of juniors coming back and a lot of experience, and they will be one of the early season favorites. Meanwhile, looks like we're going to have a timeout here. It's going to come with 4 minutes gone by. I don't know why we're giving away all our scores here, but there's another one. North with a 21-18
This is just
victory.
a revolt. This is an internal revolt
All
with
right,
an FNLNH.
yeah. Apparently nobody likes the postgame show.
Oh, we love the postgame show.
No reason to stick around for the scores after the game. 28-7. We got a timeout. We want to thank our sponsors tonight for sure. That includes Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Home, auto, business insurance. BealsInsurance.com is the website. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising, the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. So visit mgsportsfundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. Also, by New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 5 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally, by Spectrum Monthly, powerful local advertising solutions. Find out more at SpectrumMonthly.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals, up here on the roof with you. John Barron under the tent with us.
In our nest.
In the Pilots. And Salem is going to take over.
I think it was number 5. Was that number 5? I believe it was. That was a heads-up play to tackle him. Even though it may not have mattered, it's just a good heads-up play. You know, Nick, you were talking about the scores. I have received more scores from more people tonight by fivefold. I think at the end of the season,
there's a lot of meaningful games tonight.
There's a lot of meaningful games, and I think people are starting to really dial in. So I've been throwing more. I got friends that I haven't heard from all year that just are sending me scores. So I think some of it is just in this world of technology.
Games tonight too.
Yes. Yep.
A lot of one-score games.
And ones you might not expect. Look at the Concord-Dover game. I wonder, is Bahuma back? I wonder if he's back tonight.
There's some upsets in the making, perhaps. We'll get a full rundown after the game.
If he isn't, you got to give Coach Corkum a lot of credit.
There's a completion.
Nice throw.
That's the tight end, Cologne. Kind of a spinning catch there that's going to go for 19 yards and a first down.
If he's not back, you got to give Coach Corkum and his crew a lot of credit for losing one of the just a terrific player, a mainstay, it's anchor of your team, just like a Tiger on and what have you, and being able to play against Dover like that, regardless of what happens from here on out.
Right. That defense, either way, holding him to just 14 points so far.
Nice catch.
Yep. Cologne able to kind of twist to his right, maintain concentration, and pull that in. That's his third catch tonight. Handoff to Hughes on 1st and 10, and the big back is over the 40 up to about the 42, just a 2-yard gain. Again, Anthony Caruso and company waiting for him in the hole.
I think Salem, by playing Pinkerton tonight, win or lose, still got 7 minutes left, but win or lose, having this film against one of the top-tier teams is really going to give them the coaching staff a lot of ability. I'll finish after the play.
2nd down and 8. Tedesco in motion. Going to roll out Lumley again. Going to throw on the move, but it's knocked away in the flat. Incomplete. Caruso gets his left hand in front of Tedesco to deny that one, and now 3rd and 8 on the way.
When you're running the ball downhill week after week after week, imposing your will on the opposition, and Salem beat Windham. I don't care what the record is. They're still a good football team. And in this situation, having this sort of film is going to allow them to practice and make the team better. These sort of things, this is what Pinkerton defense tonight has been flawless. It really has. It's been incredible. The containment is amazing. The up the middle, gap control, it all. So it's going to give them some red meat film.
3rd and 8, double handoff, 1st down. Gonzalez going to burst through. It was untouched out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. It's one of the longer play from scrimmages tonight for Salem.
Sophomore, right?
Gonzalez?
Yeah.
No, he's a junior.
Okay, I thought he was a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a junior.
Okay. Wow. In other words, another year to play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, again, this is a loaded, quote-unquote, junior class.
Yeah, and Coach Steve, I think he said he had a pretty good group of sophomores that were contributing as well.
We saw a freshman touch the football tonight as well.
I'm not going to worry about next year. I'm still not giving up on this year with this team because look at what's going on right now.
And, of course, they have 18 seniors in tow as well. That's a good run there for Tedesco. But there's a flag in the backfield, and a hold is coming up here against Salem.
That's a costly one. When you're moving the ball down the field, those calls can be – let's see if we can see that. If it was at the point of attack or not.
Yeah, the flag is about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right here. Yeah, he held
and
Day.
It's going to go against the tight end.
Yeah, he twisted Day right around. Yep. Good call. Haven't seen any call tonight that wasn't clear.
It's been well officiated, as we expected. Once I saw Steve Hall's name on the itinerary, I knew we were in good hands. Meanwhile, we're midway through this 4th quarter. Salem hoping to make it a 2-score game again, trailing here 28-7. Trying to stave off what could be their first in-state loss of the season. Throw. There's Cologne. He's wide open. And he's inside the 25-yard line.
Boy, if
Tackled by Morrison just shy of the 23. And that's a first down.
Watch the mechanics of Lumley. Let's forget about the score for a second. Talk about a ball player that is really coming into his own and has been doing so well. Look at this. Look at the vision. Look at the strength of this arm and the accuracy. And so, wow.
He's looked good tonight.
The ball never got more than 6 feet off the ground.
Scored Salem's only touchdown back in the 2nd quarter on a 2-yard run.
And if you're a receiver, Nick, and you've got a guy that can deliver the ball, I won't mention any names on the Patriot that takes forever to get there, but aside from that, Lumley delivers the ball with high velocity so the defensive backs can't recover, and the receivers get it quickly, and they can get yards after the catch, and it protects them.
2-year starter. One of Coach Abraham's favorite players, as he revealed to us last night.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Gonzalez with a spin move near the line of scrimmage.
But some quarterbacks, Nick,
not going to get much. It's 3rd down and 5.
Some quarterbacks, Nick, it's what I alluded to earlier, mechanics may be good, this may be good, but if you don't have velocity on a ball that you can deliver it in today's fast-paced defensive backs or athletes like we never used to see before, these recovery speed, you've got to have velocity and accuracy on your ball. And Lumley has it.
Blitz from Pinkerton on third down. Lumley to his left, throws off the back throw. He's got Tedisco and a first down inside the 10. Ridden out of bounds by Morrison. But a good rollout, a good throw, and a good contested catch there.
Yeah, but this is to his weak side. He rolls out to his weak side and throws better than most quarterbacks do on their strong side, Nick. This is just a display of if you give this guy a pocket, all right, and a lane to throw out of, if he rolls, he's lethal.
This is Salem's most promising drive since they scored back in the second quarter. They hand to Gonzalez right side, and he's going to get wrapped up and brought down by Day. Catnote in there to finish him off. And no gain as the ball stays at the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal on the way as we march towards the 4-minute mark here in quarter number 4.
The only time Lumley's really been I don't want to use the word ineffective, where bad things have happened is when he's just being just completely flushed out of the pocket, and he's got 4 or 5 either defensive linemen, corner blitzes, and he's just got nowhere to go. And those have been well-timed calls by the Pinkerton defense.
Pitch left side, Tedisco on 2nd and goal, a stiff arm at the 5.
Does he earn?
Spin his way inside the 3-yard line.
He earns it.
Tackle by Delaney. All effort there from the junior.
Earns it.
3rd and goal on the way from the 2.
See him feel the look at this. Look at this. So many other runners would have been tackled 7-8 yards back.
Brought Dillon, the defender, for a ride with him.
Something's going on here with a Salem player. He's
that's
struggling.
The offensive lineman Ralph Tashian, the junior.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Seen a couple of guys get dinged up tonight. Jamie Isaac for Pinkerton left just before halftime, did not return.
It's been a very physical game.
We saw the starting center for Salem, Cody Stiles.
He doesn't want to come off.
Get nicked up earlier in the second half, but a good sign here as he comes off under his own power. Trying to walk off whatever it was.
This team is coached tough and they play tough. I don't know what happened to him, but he was gesturing something, maybe a whiplash or something on his neck. I don't know.
All right, 3rd and goal from
knocking on the door.
Inside of 4 minutes, 4th quarter. The handoff's to Walton on a dive. Or was it?
No, I think it was a second hand.
It was the second
fake dive.
And I think it was it Tedisco?
Kind of a power run in the 4 hole. That's right in the 4 hole.
They faked to Walton. That's where they had me faked.
Yeah, but look at the containment and look at the read and reaction of this very, very highly intelligent defense. They don't bite very often.
Catnote waiting in the hole for the tackle. May have saved the touchdown. Now it's 4th and goal from the 1. Lumley on a rollout. Going to tuck and run and get into the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown tonight.
What a smart decision.
The senior, Noah Lumley, on a bootleg on a 4th and goal. Scores from 1 yard out. It's a 2-score game again at 28-13.
Multifaceted capability. He reads. He sees an open area. The guy's blocked in front of him. There was not enough separation to throw that ball, and Lumley knows he could split those guys in half, and he did it. What a terrific decision. Nice job. What a nice drive by the Blue Devils, Nick.
Yeah. Trying to make it a 14-point game now. And the kick is blocked.
Wow.
That's Morrison who gets in there.
Defense just keeps on coming.
So special teams paying off there for Coach O'Reilly.
Special teams tonight has been critical for Coach O'Reilly's team.
They had a takeaway in the first quarter.
Yep.
Now they have a blocked extra point attempt here.
And the kicking game has been fabulous. You know, and the punting's been fabulous. The extra points have been fabulous. Punt returns have been very smart. Situation, depending on the situation, score on the scoreboard and field position, all of these things have been working very sync. They're playing like they're rated, Nick. And there are some people that think that Pinkerton's number one. And the way they're playing against Salem tonight, you know, you can't sit there and have a long argument with them because both of these teams, to me, Bedford, Pinkerton, and Londonderry, again, Dover's right in there too, but at some point you got to start looking at scores and who continually is
winning comfortably.
Winning comfortably, and
that's been Pinkerton's MO. The only game that they have failed to win by less than double digits was the back-and-forth battle with Londonderry in week number 4, in which they prevailed by a final score of 24 to 20. Everyone else has been quote-unquote blown out, including Brockton last week. In fact, Salem down quote-unquote only 15 would represent the second smallest margin of victory for Pinkerton this season if the score holds up.
Which says how strong both of these football teams are.
Right. Yeah. Still 3:12 to go here. And does Coach Abraham try something here? He will. It's an onside kick with some speed.
They're going to get it.
It's live as it's deflected back to the kicker. And he's got
very effective
as he steps out of bounds. Ryan Bryant able to come up with it. Well, he got some velocity on that kick. It came in hot. It bounced off a Pinkerton
player. Should have let it go out of bounds, Nick, because nobody else was going to get it. No need to come up on that ball. Just let it go out of bounds because it didn't even go anywhere near 10 yards. So that'll be a mistake, a first special teams mistake Pinkerton has made tonight. But they'll fix that, and that's what these sort of games are for.
Took a vicious hop at usually the sure-handed Benjamin Walthers.
Right.
Walthers looked like took it off the face mask.
Right. But didn't have to.
Yeah,
that ball was clearly going out of bounds. You know, you can't blame him. He doesn't know. He's not thinking at that point.
It's easy for us to say.
Easy for us to say.
50 feet up in the air.
Nevertheless, it's still a fact.
Right side run, Gonzalez as Salem gets the ball right back. And they go back to work at their own 46-yard line with a 2nd down and 3 on the way.
I give the intensity of that kick and the rush coming forward as the thing that didn't give him an opportunity to process and think as quickly because it was well done by Salem. So very effective special teams by Salem, and
that's there.
Pinkerton will take that back in the old film room and correct it. That's all.
That's Salem's first takeaway of the night. Pinkerton still leading the turnover battle by a count of 2-1. Meanwhile, the clock's starting to work against the Blue Devils as well. We're down to 2.5 minutes. Tedesco on a pitch is going to, I believe, pick up the first down.
Yeah, I think he has it.
Needed 3, gets 3.5.
Yep, they're moving it.
That'll momentarily stop the clock with 2:27 to go.
Well, I mean, you got 28-13. You're able to get another 7.
Two-score game.
Yeah, and I don't see a lot of subs in this game, Nick, so this is by no means
rollout. Left side, Lumley. Going to fire deep. He's got a man open, and it's tipped away. Caden Michaud showing you the recovery speed there, able to get his right hand on the football and knock it away at the last moment. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, it was just a matter of Lumley not seeing him in time, Nick. It was thrown a little bit. The separation was way earlier, and that's where he's got to catch it. But he's looking downfield, but he's got defenders in his face. That was the difference. That timing of being in his face forced him to sit back. Little underthrown, nevertheless, but that was close.
Good play by Michaud.
Good play by Michaud. Great play.
2nd down and 10. Tedesco in motion. They hand on a misdirection to Gonzalez, and he's still untouched along the edge.
Smart to get out of bounds. I think that'll stop the clock, and it does.
Picks up 6, tackled inside the 45-yard line. That will freeze the clock with 1:58 remaining.
So much about this young man I've really enjoyed from Concord when we saw him in Concord, the game against Wyndham, and now it's tonight. Just a good developing football player.
I think he set the table on the Jamboree.
I think he did too. Exactly. Yeah, he played there.
Where we saw them take on Bishop Girton in only 2 quarters of action, but Salem held a 21-7 lead after that 2-quarter expedition.
Something that really makes me look at a football player, Nick, is when he can block as well as he runs, and he does.
3rd down and 4. On a 3-step drop, the throw is out, and it's caught. Tedesco able to wrestle it away from Morrison. Still inside the 10.
They get it.
He's in the end zone for the touchdown. It's a 45-yard hookup. Lumley to Tedesco. And just when you thought this may or may not have been over, think again. 28-19. And Salem, they may go for 2 here.
But he may wait and just go and take the 1 and then go for 2.
Right. The 1, as we know, is not guaranteed
again,
either.
I just got through talking about Lumley's velocity on his throws, Nick, and because of that velocity on his throws, that thing was not picked off. And you wonder as you watch certain NFL teams getting picked off every single week, it's because the ball's taken forever to get there. And that is such a factor. Lumley has got a gun.
So the touchdown comes with 1:48 remaining. And Coach Abraham will send out the kick unit here to make it an 8-point difference.
That's true. What I'm saying is true. I mean, you see the guys that can throw.
There's the kick. Up.
And there's good.
And good. So it's a one-score game.
Regardless of what happens the last minute 48, Nick, I think we'd all agree that this is a huge thing for the Blue Devils, Nick, to be able to come and starters against starters close this gap. And this is the heart of playing from behind we're seeing right now.
Well, it's a good finish regardless of what the final score may end up being for Salem, as they don't quit. To your point, they held Pinkerton off the board on that late push. They come back, they get a touchdown on an impressive lengthy drive. They get the special teams onside kick that they wanted, and then they take advantage of a short field and score again.
Yeah, and we're seeing the replay there of Gonzalez being so smart in the head that he's getting outside.
Right. Stops
that clock. There's still 1:48 left. Let's see what they got with this onside kick here.
Been kind of a tale of two halves as Pinkerton. If they scored twice in the final 3 minutes before halftime, while Salem has already scored twice in the final 3:12 of this fourth quarter.
If they hit this place is going to go nuts. And some of these people that are driving out of here need to turn around and come back.
Crowd is alive. The student section stomping on the bleachers. The onside kick is going to take a bounce, and this time it's Werthers who pulls it in shorthanded.
What a great job. What shorthanded that is. Now,
the senior wide receiver able to atone for the earlier mistake.
Watch
he ensures the possession.
Look at how he's in a 45-degree angle position, and exactly where he's supposed to be in position for the bounce, and he catches the ball. Well done.
Gets down immediately to avoid the hit.
Immediately. Everything done perfectly there. What a great job.
So now Pinkerton trying to bleed this clock. 1:47 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Salem, I believe, has 2 timeouts remaining.
That would be a correct. They both do.
In fact, each team has 2. Well, now Coach O'Reilly is going to take one right here.
Yep.
So Pinkerton wants to talk about it. All right, reminder, coming up, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis. We'll get to all the scores tonight on a busy week number 8. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. This one has been fun. Pinkerton, if they can hang on, they would likely be in the driver's seat for the top seed in the upcoming Division I playoff tournament. That, of course, is a field of 13 teams. They expanded to 13 last year.
I haven't talked to anybody that doesn't love what they've done. Because with 3 divisions, I mean, you can talk back and forth about it, but, Nick, with 3 divisions, it does narrow it down. You get 3 byes.
I like the 3 divisions.
Right. So if you like the 3 divisions, that means 3 of them got to have something for winning the conference, so 3 get a bye.
Oh, look at this. Here's a tease right here, Steve. Now that is a tease. I like that.
Well, I think he thinks the world of Nick, and I think he says, you know what? There is a pregame show. So
there we go, postgame show.
You sure you didn't text him to do that?
No.
I'm wondering. I don't know. Very good, Ben. Very good.
That should get a few folks to stick around because Portsmouth is on upset alert right now. At last look, it was 7-7 in the fourth quarter.
John's got a guilty grin over there on the camera. I think he was involved in this. That was Ben? Okay. That was Matt.
Okay.
That was Matt.
Meanwhile, we got a timeout here after the 6-yard pickup from Ryan Catnode.
Yep.
So Coach Abraham is playing kind of the last cards of his hand here.
Yep.
Hoping the defense can come up with a stop with still enough time left. We're down to 1:36 remaining.
This second half run, 2 touchdowns by Salem, Nick, is, again, this hasn't been I don't like the word scrub time. I think it's sub time where you develop new football players. None of that's going on. These are starting team against starting team, and Salem did not give up. And we talked about when Salem was down here, and I said, you know, Nick, they're tired. I can see fatigue. They got their hands on their hips, and then what do? They come out and they stop it. They stop the drive and they get the ball back. And the good things happen to people who just have blinders on any outside static, and they focus on every play means something, and whatever happens, happens.
Right.
And those are the people that go through life the most successful.
Coach Abraham, he had a similar message to us last night. He said, well, it's not really about the results.
Right.
It's more about challenging our guys, individually to win those matchups within the game.
Yep, absolutely.
And this final score usually takes care of itself. Catno going to break one here. Whew. How about the motor on this kid, the senior, able to break a number of tackles and pick up another 16 yards and another Pinkerton first down. Now another timeout is going to be called here by Salem, and I believe that's the final timeout for Coach Abraham.
Yeah, well, he's going to try to stop the clock, doing everything he can right down to the wire, hope for more time for another mistake to happen, force more plays.
Right.
And but, boy, when you've got Catno, you've got a ball security guy that's tremendous. But
well, they're not going to call a timeout.
No.
I was mistaken.
So they're going to keep running it. Okay. It did look like it, at first.
So the clock is moving, and we are now down to the final minute. Salem, I think, is out of timeouts. Well, they have one left, but irrelevant at this point. So they're not going to take it, and we're going to get the final knee here from Tim Hersom. Going to maximize that play clock and then drop that right knee to the ground. So Pinkerton, they're going to survive here on the road. They looked impressive, particularly in that first half where they built up a 21-7 lead at the break, extended that on a big pass play early in the third quarter to 28-7. And as you just highlighted, Salem, on the flip side, they don't quit in that fourth quarter. They ultimately are going to end up scoring a couple of touchdowns in the final 3 minutes, but it's not enough as Pinkerton is going to walk off of Grant Field 8-0 with just one game left in the regular season schedule. So it's the Astros on a busy Friday night here in Salem. Winners by a final score of 28-20.
Nick, this is two. I just love both of these teams.
Yep.
I love them from top to bottom, and as far as from coaching staff all the way down to the water boy or water girl. And I tell you, they put on a show tonight. They had their strength. Pinkerton, though, Nick, just anytime they needed it in the end of the game here, they get Catno to get them a first down. I mean, they were able to call on their senior leadership and their key personnel and get it done. But let me tell you, giving Steve Abraham some film on one of the top-level teams that he's able to close, talked about the heart coming back.
Right.
And you look at the way they did it and how they executed on they made some mistakes in the first quarter on special teams, but then you see the strength of this football team on special teams when they're able to get that great onside kick. Don't count Salem out.
No.
If you do,
not at all.
You're going to do it in peril. Because if you take them lightly, they're gonna beat you up.
Well, look, again, it's a one-score game in the end.
Yeah.
And if we're talking measuring stick games, I'd say they measured pretty well.
I do. But I think at the end of the day, I think Coach O'Reilly and his staff did a masterful job defensively preparing, and for 3.5 quarters, they were able to keep this team. But because of that heart factor, I mean, you can't have Coach O'Reilly can't be throwing the ball down the football field with a 28-7 lead. I think he played it just right. I don't think he played prevent. I think what he did was, I'm going to beat them with the clock, and I'm going to use what I have and have high percentage chances of winning the football game.
Right.
And I think overall he managed it magnificently. But at the same time, you can also talk within that context how good Steve Abraham and his football team fought back hard to close it to a very respectable score with all starters on the field.
All right.
Terrific job, both sides.
When we come back, a look back at this one, stats, highlights, analysis, and a number of teams statewide on upset alert in week number 8, so we'll get you those scores as well. The final score here is Pinkerton 28, Salem 20. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Well, 28-20 is our final. There's Pinkerton. Now 8-0 with a week to go. An impressive win tonight. Scoreless first quarter. Ryan Catnode a minute into the second quarter got the Astros on the board with a 1-yard touchdown. 7-0 Salem, a quick response. They pieced together an 80-yard drive. That was capped off by a 2-yard run from Noah Lumley, the quarterback. 7-7. Midway through the second quarter. Final 3 minutes before halftime belonged to Pinkerton as they scored twice. Tim Hersom, a 1-yard quarterback sneak, and then in the final 28 seconds, Caden Michoud, a 5-yard touchdown run. 21-7 Pinkerton was our halftime score. That became 28-7. About 4 minutes into the third quarter, a 92-yard hookup between Hersom and Morrison on a gorgeous play fake deep in their own end. 28-7 at that point, 28-7 after 3 quarters. You thought it was over? Think again. Salem, they scored twice in the final 3:12. A 1-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal from Noah Lumley. An onside kick gave Salem the ball back. And then inside of 2 minutes, they score again on a 45-yard hookup from Lumley to Tedisco. 28-20 at that point, but Pinkerton gets some key first downs, and they're able to run out the clock and put this one in stone by a final of 28-20. So Pinkerton is 8-0. They'll be at Manchester Central with a likely chance to wrap up the season at 9-0. If that
certainly
happens,
going in favored highly.
If that happens, they would be the number 1 seed in the upcoming Division I state tournament. Meanwhile, Salem, their first in-state loss occurs tonight. So 6-1 against in-state competition. 6-2 overall. Another tough one on the road next weekend at Londonderry. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are, let's stop talking about how good Salem's going to be next year. And let's look at this football team right now who just took on probably one of the perceived 2 iron teams right now, I think, are Bedford and Pinkerton. And they're going to play the 3rd iron team next week. I think Portsmouth as well, and I think Dover is probably their peer. We'll see what happens now because, remember, it's a long season from the standpoint of a high school schedule. So as far as I'm concerned, you take both of these teams can go out of here tonight with a good locker room. You really can, because this was a test that Salem has. But let's never forget, this Salem team is a team that's coming from a giant sophomore class that's playing as a giant junior class. And as everybody knows what happens in that junior year, as you grow throughout that year, they're growing this year, right here, right now. I saw the kind of courage and the kind of commitment in the third quarter when they were just burnt out, and they just kept on coming and giving everything they had, and it paid off for them in the end of the game. Without that attitude, then we don't have a 28-20, and I guarantee you,
right.
The legend Coach O'Reilly will tell you the same thing, that this team is for real, that he played tonight. What does Pinkerton take out of it? Well, obviously, they're in position for the number 1 seed, which means there'll be going to be a game in Pinkerton on the way out if they can get all the way to the championships after the quarters and the semis. So kudos to both teams. They gave us a lot of excitement, and the value of the film that they have against each other and areas where they can improve are out there, and that's what Salem really needed, Nick, when they were facing a team at this level. So I'll leave you the scores. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to the coaches. Thank you for what was put on here today, because this was a good show of running football in bad weather.
All right, got some scores for you, Steve.
Yep.
Not going to leave you waiting any longer.
All right.
Dover and Concord are going to overtime.
Oh, my word.
21 all, start of overtime. Concord
this
hoping
is big for Dover.
For an upset win. Dover hoping to survive at this point after trailing most of the night. So
now, what are the implications of Concord in here, Nick? With their record,
they can scrap some wins together.
They're going to be in.
There's 13 tickets, so they might get one of them.
Very important game tonight for them.
All right. North, as we gave away earlier, they held on to beat Keene in a very close game, 21-18. So the Titans banking that win that'll go a long way towards their playoff seedings.
Badger living up to expectations here.
That's right. Londonderry, still no problem with Alvern, 34-0.
Yeah.
Was the halftime score. It's 34-0 now early in the fourth quarter.
Well, listen,
Timberlane with their 4th win of the season, as they improved to 500 and are now
against
Winnicott. 21-6 is the final there. What else we got? Spalding, big night for the Red Raiders.
Yeah.
They put up 41 over Nashua South, 41-14. Trying to get a Bedford update. Not that game seemed like it was in the balance. They had a 28-0 lead, 28-0 over Thornton at halftime, but I don't see any updates since then. All right, the big elephant in the room here is Portsmouth. The Clippers trailed 7-0 against Merrimack at halftime.
Yep.
They came back to tie that game at 7 early in the fourth quarter. They take a 13-7 lead, Portsmouth does, with just a few minutes remaining. Merrimack drives late to try and tie the game, but Cole McLaughlin of Portsmouth comes away with a red zone interception in the final minute to seal the deal. Portsmouth survives Merrimack by a final score of 13-7.
You just never know. That's why they play the game.
Right.
And, boy, congratulations to Steve, to Kip Jackson on a hell of a fight with one of the iron members of the league. So good for them.
All right, and, of course, the big battle in Division II was worth a look as well. Pelham and Sauhegan. That one's starting to get ugly midway through the fourth quarter as the Pythons have opened it up on the Sabres 40-14.
They're just in a different league. Yeah.
Pelham is looking for their 37th consecutive win in Division II. All right, that just about does it for us. We'll be back, Thursday, with a week number 9 edition of FNL Gridiron to get everybody set for the final weekend of the regular season. So set your calendar now. Thursday, 6 o'clock Eastern, right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, as we bring you another edition of FNL Gridiron. Want to thank Scott Insigna and his crew here at Salem.
Great group.
Really looking out for us, especially this week with the hardwire and the rooftop placement. We appreciate it. As usual, always fun to call a game here. Our friends at Salem TV, the Campbells, father and son combo, doing a great job.
Dynamic duo.
As usual with the game notes, etc. So we appreciate the Campbells and the folks over at Salem TV. for our crew. How about the two that weren't here tonight? A well-deserved night off for both Kristen and Matt Beals. We miss them.
They'll be back next week.
Of course, sooner rather than later. Of course, John Barron, the MVP of the night, as usual, was here for breakfast, as you mentioned, to get the setup going.
Put a postal uniform on that guy, because he'll do it in rain, shine, sleet, snow.
Made sure we were nice and dry up here on top of the press box. So we appreciate John Barron. And, of course, the whole thing orchestrated by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. Want to thank, of course, Coach O'Reilly, Coach Abraham for jumping on with us last night. Want to thank the executive producer, my partner, Steve Beals. My name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 28, Salem 20. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals.